Good evening, everyone. And happy Tuesday, Stella. How are you? Thanks for coming out. I've made a little change for tonight's game. I went in noir mode, if you will. Oh, hey, what's up, Bullen? Good evening. So I made the entire overlay black and white and myself black and white to match the game. You guys are still all colorful, though. Don't worry about that. How are you guys doing today? How was your Tuesday? Yeah, thanks for coming in, Bolin. You like the vibe? Yeah, there you go, right? Kind of matches. I increased the contrast on my camera as well, so my beard looks very thick. It's kind of nice looking. Definitely much less stressful than yesterday. Well, that's good, dude. Very good. Gotta have some low stress days when you can, right? Play with shades. All right, there you go. There we go. Thanks, man. All right, yeah, you guys' chats are really gonna pop tonight. You know, anytime we're playing this now. I tried to get it to where it was a button where I could just turn the whole like noir vibe on and off, but for some reason my Stream Deck extension or plugin, whatever, just didn't want to work for me. So that's cool. Oh yeah, this is a Capamon, by the way. This is pretty cool. The first time anybody talks, he says hi to him, and if you do, you can set like different commands for him. And so I have one for like lurk now. Instead of doing it in the chat, he says something if you lurk. Or for things like do it, he'll also tell me to do it, and stuff like that. I think he also says hell yeah if you do the hell yeah command and stuff like that. So he's pretty cool. But yeah, I'd recommend checking him out. They got a lot of different little dudes that you can have with different animations. The ghost guy was my favorite, so I picked him. Yeah, they're called Capamons, I believe, with a K. Yeah, Capamon. Yeah, it's Boobot. That's what we've called him. He's a lot of fun. Alright, let's see here. Let's go ahead and get loaded in. We're going to start a new night tonight. I think I just load the same game, or do I start a new one? No, I think I start a new one, right? Because that one says the judge and everything, night 6, and I don't want to load into night 6 of the judge. We want to go for a new one. So here we go. Okay, so we already got the judge. It's gold. Angel of Death. Oh, should we just go straight for Angel of Death? Should we just do them in order? And then the Sandman. Okay, let's read the description. All right, let's slow down there, Dom. All right, it says random victims, unknown motive, weird case, slightly more difficult than the others. Okay. The Sandman is the victims may feel random at first, but there is a connection. Yet the motives might be hard to find. Dark and twisted case. So it seems like this one might be a little bit like the harder of the two here. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys got any input? Do you want to see a dark and twisted case first? Because we're going to do both. Or should we get the one that's like very difficult? The deep voice change that fixed the character? Okay, you got it. Yeah, if I'm not doing it, like if you want me to do it on a specific character, just let me know and I'll definitely try to do that. We got an either from Stella. I tried to get some more subtle voice changes too. Let me see here. I have this one for if I'm like behind some glass or something, then it's like, or if I'm just like muffled somewhere, then that should sound like my mouth or my voice is muffled. So there's that. I think I had one. There's a slightly lower voice. It makes me like louder, I think. And what else did I have? No, there's this weird one I also added. I called it group. Hello, hello. It's like a whole group of people talking at once. Then there's always the good deep voice. But yeah. Try to use those when they make sense. I usually like to do the more subtle voice acting in this one, but yeah, where it makes sense, we'll definitely try to do that. Alright, so I guess, I don't know, something tells me to start with Angel of Death, and then save the most spectacle, because it's dark and twisted, for last. So let's go with, let's really test our investigative skills with this one. Yeah, nothing beats the twink voice. Let me see here. Let me pop that on. It's called Helium.
In a voice mod, it's called Helium. They also have Chipmunk.
Which this is Chipmunk. I think Chipmunk's a little bit more unintelligible.
Which is why I usually go with Helium.
So yeah. I did those voices thanks to that CPU upgrade. Which is largely thanks to both of you, so thank you guys. You guys are making it happen. Alright, so you have story, balanced, or hard. Money will be tighter, the investigation will be harder to solve. Every action will cost more time, or a more challenging experience. The way Nightcall was designed. I feel like that's what I did last time, and that's probably what I'll do this time. Money will be easy to get by, the investigation will be easier, every action will take less time for a chiller experience. So let's go balanced. For show. Oh, the new PC is amazing, dude. Let me check my CPU usage in OBS right now. No, we're at 20. We're actually getting a little bit higher, but I don't think the CPU is in like overdrive mode yet. Let me see. Yeah, it's still running at 3.8 or 3.7. Yeah, almost 3.8 gigahertz, but it can go up to 4.7. So it's just like doesn't even think that the workload's enough to go into hyperdrive. So yeah, it's awesome, dude. Everything runs so much smoother. And I got my internet sorted out a little bit more, so everything is smooth there. I can't say that it's not gonna just like shit out on me because of, you know, just Spectrum stuff, but everything on my end is good, so I've done everything I can. Have you seen any of this game, Bolin? Have you joined us for any of the nights we've been playing it? I think we played it the last 2 weeks. I think you may have been busy. Okay, so this time I'm just getting out of my cabin. I see a dead body. Nightcall. I have not. This is my first time. Oh, right on, dude. Well, I'm glad that you're catching at the beginning of a story, so you can really get invested. So what happened last time, I'll just give you like a real brief rundown, is we are a taxi driver. I think we are like Middle Eastern or something. I'm not sure. He says people call him an Arab all the time. And let's see, what were the big key points? So there was this guy called a judge, and we got involved with the judge. He's a butcher, or no, not a butcher. Sorry, he's like a serial killer. You know, he butchers people, but he attacked us one night, but we survived the attack. And so this cop came and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna blackmail you because apparently we went to jail before for killing somebody." Just gonna throw that out there real quick. And so she was going to blackmail us if we didn't help her figure out who the perp was. And yeah, so through all these conversations in our taxi, we found out who the guy was. And we had to help them like catch him, and the climax was pretty cool. But yeah, so it's pretty awesome. So this time it looks like maybe the same thing happens at the beginning. Maybe we are attacked again, but it's a different murder. I don't know, because we're here talking to a doctor, so let's find out. Here? Sir. Oh wait, this just should be muffled, right?
Sir, can you hear me? Or do I need to speak up?
Yes, speak up, you're fine. I'm not sure I understand. This is exactly the last one started, I think. Yes, speak up.
Is it okay with you?
Is my voice loud enough? Yes, it's fine. She takes a deep breath. Sir, you just spent 2 weeks in a coma. Yeah, that's exactly how the first one started as well. The word bounces around your head. You need a moment to understand its meaning. Coma? The word scratches along your throat. Yes, you were the victim of an assault. The word resonates in your head. Victim. Right on, yeah. I thought that might be a good time. I was like, oh, sweet, I get to use it right away. I'm glad I added it today, right? Hopefully that sounded good. You are aware a serial killer is currently on the loose in Paris. You feel the contents of your stomach crawling up your throat. The killer the media are calling the Angel of Death stuck a knife in your right side. It hit several organs. To be frank, you were in a terrible state when they brought you in, and we were obligated to put you in and induced. Her voice becomes more distant, fades. You taste bile at the back of your mouth. Your head is burning. You hear a whistle in one ear. Your fingers move to your wound. Underneath the bandages, you can feel hard skin. It is incredibly painful. Did they... I'm sorry? Did they catch the angel? No. What about my passenger? What about the cops? Say nothing. What about my passenger? He was dead before you even got out of your cab. The doctor is silent for a second. A very awkward second. She hesitates. The police would like to see you as soon as possible to ask you some questions. Technically, you're the only person to have survived the Angel of Death. Noise in the hallway attracts your attention. You try to turn your head, to no avail. You need to rest. She leaves the room. Her voice resonates in the hallway. I don't care. He's the only witness. He's... Another female voice joins in, a strong authoritarian voice. You can't clearly make up what she's saying. A strange feeling washes over you. It's not pain, not fatigue, some odd combination of the two. Before being in this hospital room, you'd never realized that anger was made up of a combination of pain and exhaustion. Anger. A feeling you know all too well. Days go by, and a month later, night one. Well, look, got a bit of a problem. A real problem, that is. You have a pounding headache. It's your first night behind the wheel since the attack. Are you listening to me? You catch your boss's eye in the rearview mirror. Yeah. He stares at you for a second or two without speaking. Sometimes I wonder what goes on inside your head. You always seem so far away. I'm listening. Okay. He's watching you closely, trying to make out what's going on in your head. So this is exactly how the first one started. It's pretty interesting. So I guess they're probably going to do the whole like blackmailing with the police officer again. I guess that's always how they get you wrapped into the whole like process, right? So interesting. You know what I'm worried about, you don't you? I know. You're like a son to me, you know. I know. And you know he's about to tell you the story of his taxi fleet again. When my father died and left me the store, I could have sold it. Could have retired, gone back to the old country. I'll let him go on. I think I did that last time too. But I decided to start a cab fleet with the money he left me to hire the guys from the neighborhood. That's why I've got 45 guys like you working for me. His hands flutter in the air. Though none of them are any match for you. He smiles. His voice suddenly takes on a serious note. Do you want me to go over everything again? He points to the equipment on the dashboard. The meter, the GPS. You haven't been in the taxi for weeks. Maybe you do need a little refresher. Alright, sounds good, Stella. You chill out on that couch. Or whatever you're sitting on, watching on TV, I guess. Doesn't have to be a couch. I'm gonna say no, I'm fine, don't bother, because we already know what's going on. So in case this is like a tutorial thing, I'm gonna skip it, because I don't remember exactly how this works. No, I'm fine, don't bother. Your boss seems a little embarrassed. It'll just take a minute. It'd make me feel better. Alright, fine. Right then. Well, first the map. You spot out potential customers and try to guess where they'll be going. Then you decide. When a customer orders a taxi, if there's no one else around, you have to go pick them up. He shrugs. That's the way it goes. It's business. No problem. Yeah, the fares, you look at the map and decide whether or not you want to take them. And then you drive. He flashes a quick mechanical smile. You know it well. When he talks about work, he talks about work. That's all. When your shift is over, we do the numbers and his voice trails off as if searching for the right words. And that's all. It's pretty simple. There's no reason why you can't do it. No, right. No overtime. We're in France here, and there are rules, regulations. You might not see it that way, but no one likes having a driver who hasn't slept for 24 hours. He looks away. Something's been bothering him since he got into the cab. Anyhow, you know the ropes, you get it. I know you're going to do a good job. What's the matter? Your boss keeps quiet for a while, as if he's hesitant to speak, and then... I don't think it's a good idea. You shouldn't be driving. The murderer's still out there, and we think he's gonna come back. For you. We? Your colleagues. I do, too. Anyway, I'll let you get back to work. Every minute spent in your taxi is a minute lost. He gives you a smile, half ironic, half serious. Good night, have a good evening, count on me. Also, you can count on me, boss. He scratches at an invisible strain in the armrest, or an invisible stain on the armrest. Yeah, I know. That's the problem. He smiles. Your boss opens the door and exits the cab. You watch him cross the street and enter the fleet garage. A couple of colleagues are milling about. Taxis are coming and going. They all ignore you, consciously or unconsciously. You are branded. You sit there a moment, then turn the key in the ignition. The hum of the engine sends a tingle down your spine. It's impossible to describe how you miss that feeling. It's back to the night shift, back to life. Despite the attack. Despite it all. All right, so immediately we got Harvey. Remember Harvey's face. I think we should try to find other people that we didn't do before, right? Because I think it'll probably have maybe even some repeats. Who knows? I'm not sure, but if they've already repeated the beginning, why wouldn't they repeat some of these encounters? But Harvey is blinking, so I think we'll start with him. Nope. Harvey's got that speech thing, the impediment or whatever. Hey, what's up, baby out there lurking? How's it going? Thanks for coming by. Hey, pal, can you help me out? Accept. The door opens. It's Harvey, a homeless man, like hundreds of others in Paris. You've known each other for years, and every now and then he asks you a favor of you, to drive him someplace. As usual, he greets you quietly, though he always seems a little on edge. Hey, buddy, what's up, bub? He has a strange verbal tick that you've never really understood. You start the cab. You look in the rearview mirror, and you realize that the homeless man is clutching his left side. Well, alright already, Freddy. Is everything alright? He gives you a vague answer. Yeah, sure, fine. A pause. You can't help making a face. Insist, ignore. I don't know if this is what happened last time. I'm gonna insist. You're really not looking that great. Don't worry. Don't worry. I got in a little fight last night with this guy. But that's all taken care of now. I'll take care. He smiles, revealing a row of bad teeth. You don't want to see a doctor? What kind of fight? Who was the guy? Say nothing. What kind of fight? With a wave of his hand, he changes the subject. Bah, who gives a shit about what the kind of fight it was? All you need to know is he took something and that belonged to me, and he paid the price. He closes his eyes a moment. So, yeah, he wasn't all that bad. But if you let someone steal your stuff, you're done for. Sure. You have to show them that you're tough, that you're a big shot. He pulls a sour smile. Sometime later, your passenger clears his throat. You wouldn't happen to have a little something to drink, would you? You know, like they do in those newfangled cabs these days. Chauffeur-driven cars. Yeah, that's right. I don't have anything, sorry. He nods. I don't mean water, you know. You smile. I realize that. He sighs. Usually, not such a pain. Relax, will you? I'm not worried. Say nothing. I'll say relax, will you? I was just worried about him. He gives you a black look. Questions, you know? I got those morning, noon, and night. I'm sick and tired of them. He loses himself in thought. As you drive along, you see him struggling to keep his eyes open. They are more often shut than open now. Turn up the heat? Say nothing. I'll turn up the heat, I guess? Are we thinking he's cold? Passenger's head jerks back up, or that's gonna wake him up. You're a really good guy, you know? Yo. Your passenger gives you a sleepy smile. Hey. Serious, you don't mind if I get a little shut-eye on the way, do you? You nod. Enjoy. He gives you a smile, but it's still a painful grimace. Next thing you know, he's sound asleep. You continue to drive in silence, soothed by the warm air of the car heater. You pull up in front of the nondescript gray building. Your passenger immediately wakes up and looks around. Shit, this is great. I'm first. Well, where are we? An organization that hands out clothes for the winter. I heard they were going to open new. A pause. He's searching for the right word. A new shop, you could say. And I'm the first one. When does it open? 2 days from now. Your eyes widen. Your passenger gives you a little laugh. Don't worry. I have plenty to keep me busy. He pats his pants pocket. I found some books. One on yoga and a book by that old handsome dude. You know, the guy who talks on the radio? Help me pass the time. He gives you a tap on the shoulder. He reaches for the door and stops short, overcome with a spasm of pain. Fuck. Are you okay? Yeah. Don't worry. Taking you to the hospital. Take care. See you next time. I feel like I should take him to the hospital. Which was the homeless guy? It was Harvey, this guy. This is the homeless guy. I don't know why I didn't hear the ping for that. I think I'm gonna take him to the hospital, or at least I'll say that to him. No, I'm good. He opens the door and climbs gingerly out. And, thanks for turning up the heat. That was nice. Nice. Next thing you know, he's disappeared down a dark side street. That's what he always does. You sigh and start the cab. All right, Harvey. Got my little nap in. And there's the guy that hates young people or whatever. And electric cars. Guess we'll help her out. She's the closest, and she looks kind of beat up. So let's see if we can help her out. I don't know. Maybe that's just me misinterpreting that, but at some point we should get interrupted and get the police lady should pop up, I think. Take the glasses off for now. I hope the cat's in this one too, yeah. Yeah, I was actually expecting the cat to be there like right away to see if that was like always an option, but it seems like the options are always random, and we just happen to have gotten the cat that one time or something. I don't know. That was cool. I really like the cat. Wonder if we'll see Santa Claus too. It's so bright when I take this off. Alright. The words, I can sense them. They're calling me. Okay. Your next passenger immediately raises her hand. Drive. I don't care where, I just need you to drive. Start driving. You turn the key in the ignition. Yes, there, good. Keep going this way. Her deep, full voice makes you slightly uncomfortable. With closed eyes, she seems like she's in a place far from the back seat of your taxi. When she starts speaking, there's an odd whistle in her voice, like she's had a hole in one of her teeth. Slow down. Frail or fragile? A bit surprised, you look back at her in the mirror. Answer me. Frail or fragile? I'm not sure. Don't think about it. Just say the first one that comes to mind. Frail or fragile? Fraggle. I don't know. Which the first one that comes to mind? Well, she says frail first, so I guess frail. It's just like we don't know what we're talking about. So I'm gonna say frail, I guess. It's the first one that comes to my mind, but it's the first word that she said. Ah. Funny. I sometimes hear a bungle in my head, or a buggle in my head. A bugle, maybe that's what it is. Yeah, Fraggle, yeah. Let's get weird. I should have gone Fraggle, yeah. That's true. It was the funny one. It also speaks of frailty. The whistle in her voice is even more pronounced. Both words actually have the same root. A smile spreads across her face. 2 words, 2 units. And life went on, and words mixed once again. She pauses. You lost me there? Are you okay? She doesn't hear your question because she starts to scream. Go down the street and stop! You speed up in the quiet street. The cold weather has driven away all the passers-by. There, yes, good. I've got it. She cries out with joy, and it resonates in the cab. I've got it! Look, the words are right there. They're wandering past us like sheep, like... She explodes with laughter. What words? She's definitely getting weird up in here. She immediately stops laughing. She silences you with a wave of her hand. Now, I must write. She closes her eyes. Her fingers stroke imaginary upholstery. The frail are forced into battle. Together come the children, a son and a daughter, standing tall to salute. They will cry, oh yes, they will cry. Those creative types. Geez, hey, what's up, man? How's it going? Glad you came to hang out. The eaglets fly behind. The frail will say, Your passenger freezes. When she opens her eyes again, she stares at you. What happens when you sleep? She's waiting for you to answer. I don't want to answer. I sleep. I have nightmares. I dream. I'm gonna go with I sleep. She tilts her head to the side just a bit. No, that's a lie and you know it. And what happens when you drive? I don't want to answer. I work. I make a living. I've had enough of your questions. I'll let her go on with the questions. What should we answer? I work or I make a living? I guess, I make a living? Exactly. You give your time to others. That's not what I said. She laughs strangely, almost a snicker. Her eyelids droop. And the son will say, Frail father, I want you to come back to life. And the daughter will say, Frail father, I want you to come back a winner. The whistle in her voice grates on your ears. The father responds, You must choose. As the eaglet lands upon his shoulder, together they fly off. And thus all began. Fragile, frail, two paths that can't be fooled. The son and the daughter will grow up, though not at the same pace. When, early one morning, 20 years later, they wake up, they wake to the sound of a bugle. The sound will be beaten, churned, and clubbed, until she stops, her eyes slowly open. Until the sun... No, stop, the car! You follow orders and brake hard. The eaglet. She shakes her head. The words. Your passenger pinches her face. Oh no, I can feel the words getting away from me. Ah. She opens the door, runs off down the street. By the time you turn around, she's vanished. You sit there for a moment. Something hits your windshield. You get out of the car, lean toward the wipers, and discover a small white seashell. You look around. No one. You hurry back to the driver's seat and drive away. Okay. So was she just a homeless lady? Or what? That was pretty crazy. The eaglet dropped it, yep. The door suddenly opens and a woman gets into the back seat. Having a good night? For a second, you freeze. You recognize one of the cops working on the Angel of Death's case. She grins at you. Her voice creaks. You remember she's here at the hospital. Or you remember seeing her at the hospital. Something already bothered you about her there. You know, that's actually pretty crazy. For weeks, I've been saying to myself there's something off about you. Something not so nice. I dug around, mulled it over, bugged all my fellow cops about it because I was sure you lied to us. Didn't lie. Keep going. Let her keep going. Oh boy, she's back. That's right. I will. She has a cold sneer on her face. I'm going to be frank with you. She leans over to you. I don't see how you could be the Angel of Death. All that staging just doesn't seem like your thing. Too meticulous for a taxi driver. She squints, like she's trying to make you out from far away. Like you'd have gone to the extent of hurting yourself. Yeah, between us, it's a bit of a stretch. She stares at you. But not enough of a stretch for my chief to stop going on and on about you. Seriously, he talks about you all the time. If I didn't know better, I think he'd have a crush on you. She smirks. No, I think he's more interested in your profile and in prison at 17. An icy chill fills your gut. And for murder, too. You open your mouth, but nothing comes out. Since you got out, you've kept a low profile, but you're lying about your name and your address. I checked. It's normal, you'd say. if they get word of your time served. No loan for your permit, no lease for your car. Meaning no second chance at life. Your voice becomes softer, almost warm. I personally like guys who want a second chance. No, I like guys who fight for a second chance. Basically, I like guys who are willing to work for me. She leans forward, her shining, cat-like eyes narrowing. My chief wants to go to the prosecutor with the first and last name with evidence. Actually, knowing him, he's not so hot on evidence. So, I'll give you info. Victims, suspects, medical reports, some photos that are a bit... She makes a gagging noise. You have to be discreet. Keep it between you and me. Interrogate, ask questions, dig around. I have done this actually, but I am not a cop. She shrugs. Don't worry, you're already keener than half the squad. And don't forget, I'm not asking you to make an arrest or deliver the killer wrapped up on a bow in front of the station, okay? You're no Batman. You're just here to get more information. She rummages around in her pockets for what seems like forever. Here, take my card. I'll call you in 3-4 days, just to check in. We'll chat. And I'll let you know if I have any new info. She takes on a didactic, paternalistic tone, like she was giving you a list of recommendations for the 100th time. Don't get caught, don't get arrested. Also, I wouldn't recommend trying to leave Paris. I know what you look like, and I know who your friends are. You can either be the solution or the problem, my friend. She takes a minute to scan your face, your emotions. If I have to, I'll go check in on you-know-who. Her smile is biting. That reminds me. She know you've done time? You shake your head. She snickers. Oh, my little dirtbag. You cover your tracks well. What if I refuse? If you refuse? Oh, it's because it's actually wrapped around my back. It's not missing. It's just behind my back. Because I have it wrapped. I guess it does look like I have a missing arm. Oh no! Oh, it's a stub! No, just pulling it behind my back. If you refuse, simple. I turn you in. I'll send your picture to all my friends in the media and every asshole in Paris. Your picture with your name on it. Your real name. Anyone close to you will have their places searched. They'll be put under house arrest. Spend nights in jail. You have no idea how tense things are with that fucker's trial underway. You sigh. You know just what she's trying to get at. Come to think of it, your last names are almost the same. You could be brothers, actually. Nothing like that terrorist and nothing like that son of a bitch. Say nothing. You thought I wasn't being picked up by the camera. Yeah, it does look like that now that I look at it. It's probably the black and white. It kind of gets rid of some of the details that might otherwise let you know. Nothing like that terrorist, nothing like that son of a bitch. Say nothing. The last names are almost the same. I don't know what she means by that. Your last name, Sue's last name, is mine and the Angel of Death? The guy that you don't know his identity? Nothing like that terrorist. Oh, she's talking about the trial. Yeah, there's another trial going on. That's what she's talking about, right? So I'll say, I'm nothing like that son of a bitch. She smiles. Let me tell you, with that face of yours and your handle, they'll welcome you with open arms. You have no right. I know we have no right. She takes on a serious tone, businesslike. I want to catch this killer personally. I want to drag him into court, ruin his fucking life with a bang. I can't botch this case, you got me? And neither can you, right? Obviously. Well, great then. We see eye to eye. You can just say you're my informant, my CI. You ripped open your gut, you saw your own insides, you were in a coma. Yeah, you have plenty of reasons you want to get back at him. She furrows her brow. Yeah, I think you're actually going to do what I tell you to do. You investigate, ask questions, listen to all the rumors, and you come up with a list of suspects. She lays her hand on the door handle and freezes. Oh, right. And don't get fired. Without this cab, you're worth nothing to me. You glare at her. Fucking bitch. Yeah, whatever. If that makes you feel better. She puts her hand up and you can hear the words behind it. This conversation never happened. I'll make sure you get more intel tomorrow. I'll find a way. Until then. Not a word to anyone, obviously. Not a word. The door opens, squeaks, and slams shut. You sit alone for a while, teeth clenched, dry-eyed, ears buzzing. Shit. On the back seat, the cop left a pile of papers. Shit. Key in the ignition, motor running. Radio on, crackles. You turn it off and start driving. Talking to passengers might unlock new documents and clues for your investigation. You will find them back at your studio after your shift. 5 clues discovered, available in your room. Okay, then we just quick end the night. Alright, let's see who our suspects are, huh? You take a second to enjoy the silence of your studio apartment. Outside, the city is slowly waking up. You can still hear the hum of the taxi buzzing in your ears. You throw the files Buzzet gave you on the table. On the wall, you hung up the big corkboard where you used to pin the photos up of your nephews. They've been gone since you got out of. Your plan is simple. Jot down all the pieces of evidence and connect them to the suspects. The guilty party won't necessarily be the one with the most evidence against them, but the one with the most compelling evidence against them. It's like you're building a story about each subject. Trying to understand their motives. Understand how he or she got into the situation. A bus goes by, making the walls shake. You take your shoes off before getting to work. Looks like Harvey's on there again. Oh, Harvey, what will we do with you, Harvey? He's always a suspect. Homeless man with an unknown background. Briefly worked for Charles Bograin, victim 2 in the 90s. Okay, so it's the same victims, too. Huh, interesting. Because that was, or he had the same exact relationship with victim 2 in the last one. Couple of arrests for breaking and entering. Alright, start from the left. These are new people. Gilda Berger. Set designer for the opera, was hospitalized after her mother's death. Difficult relationship with her dad, also working at the opera. Catholic and a member of the Korean community in Paris. Jonas Pearson. A brilliant programmer for several startups and companies. Wrote books about the simulation we're all living in. Destroyed evidence when the police started investigating. Alright, interesting. Apolline Giordao? Blurry past, weird woman. Probably a rich heir or something. Was born in Guadalupe, maybe. Night owl. Wow, don't know a whole lot about her. Pierrette Manderes. Chief in La Pierre restaurant in Paris. Or chef, sorry, not chief, my bad, no I in there. In financial troubles, was an activist when she was younger. Part of the Moonflesh cult. Ooh, Moonflesh cult, that sounds crazy. Alright, let's go ahead and investigate this stuff. Harvey's police profile, okay. She just wants to nab Harvey so bad. It's like, this guy, it's gotta be him, I know it. Police report of victim 1, victim 2, killer case. What else do we have? I'll get all the victims on there. I'll prioritize those. Maybe I'll be able to get them all. Yep. Sweet. It's all on the board now. Victim 2, open door to killer. Okay. Victim 2 had garlic in her hand. How does that connect to her? She's the one that's a chef. I don't know why that's connected to her. Okay, they're all the size. Sure, whatever. Seen that before. There's only one of them that isn't the right height, it looks like. Yeah, vampires! That's why that explains the garlic, right? Harvey suspected in many break-ins. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna matter here. I really don't. Harvey allegedly robbed fishmonger. I don't think that's gonna matter that much either. Kitchen window left open by victim. Somehow that's connected to Harvey. Don't understand that. Left spare key under doormat. Harvey or... How is that connected to these two? So I don't get how these connections work sometimes. Murders equal rituals for this girl we don't know anything about? This is a conspiracy board if I've ever seen one. MO equals slit throat, words written in blood, blood missing. Oh jeez, that's pretty crazy. Murder weapon equals a fillet knife. Well, that's pointing toward her. The garlic seems to point to her, not to this lady. So I'm gonna actually move it over here. Spare key under the doormat. Don't know how that connects to anybody. Break-in for crime scenes 1 and 3. But victim 2 opened the door. Okay, well, we don't know enough. That's what we know. We've got our profiles, so we'll end the night. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You open the sofa bed and lie down. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. Your brain is running at full speed. Your body aches and you're in pain. You can tell you need to get more sleep. You glance at your investigation board. It looks awfully empty. Tomorrow, you'll have a chance to fill it up more. You shake your head and your mind wanders for a second. A second later, you're asleep. You open one eye. For a second there, you hoped the evidence board was just a dream too, but you can make it out in the shadows. You get up quickly. A few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Night 2. Alright, so we got a couple evidence spots here. Ooh, like 4 of them. Nice. Ooh, 5. This is the closest one, and it's right next to a person, but not that that matters, because that'll change. But I'm going to go to this one since it's closest, I guess. Why not? Somewhere in one of the buildings around you, a dog is barking up a storm. Okay. Poor pup. You've been studying the outside of the church for a few minutes now. It's fairly recent. Square with sharp edges. Gray and ugly. This is where the congregation of one of your subjects, Gilda Berger, gathered. You get out of your taxi and climb the few steps to the front door. Despite how late it is, it's slightly ajar. You go inside. The nave stretches out before you. There are a few people sitting in the pews, lots of women by themselves. By the look of their clothes and their ages, you're pretty certain they're cleaning women. In just a few minutes, they'll leave to take the bus or metro to clean offices all over Paris. Your eye is drawn to the very primitive and colorful wall painting on your left. In front of you stands the altar, and behind it, a man who appears to be the priest. Walk towards the altar, walk along the wall to your left. I'll try the wall to my left. You walk across the row of pews. As you get closer, you quickly notice a symbol painted above the people in the painting. A stylized fish. Just like the one you saw in the photo of the first crime scene. May I help you? You turn around. The priest is right in front of you. He must be about 40, lean and athletic, a slightly deviant expression on his face. Hello. Yes, are you looking for something? What is the symbol? I have a few questions for you. I'm just looking around. Let's ask him what the symbol is. He cocks his head to the side. The fish? It's an ictus, one of the earliest Christian symbols. It was a discreet way of recognizing one another. What's the link between the fish and... He cuts you off briskly. It's an acrostic. Acrostic? He lets a little time go by, just to make sure you know you have no chance of knowing what it is. It's sort of acronym, if you will. Like WWF or USA. Like the WWF? The World Wrestling Foundation? Isn't that? It's a wrestling thing, right? More silence. Even more condescending than before. In Greek, ancient Greek, it means Jesus Christ, Son of God, Savior. It's a secret code. He takes a step back. But I doubt you came here to learn about early Christian history. What are you really here for? Am I not allowed to be here? I have a few questions for you. I'm just looking around. Well, sometimes the ones with the symbols on the side are a little bit more risky, but... Questions for you. Am I not allowed to be here? This is like a too combative. If I actually want to get information out of him, maybe I should just ask him the questions, right? So I'll try that. I have a few questions for you. Questions? About who? Or what? About one of your believers? Gil the Berger? Questions about the serial killer? About one of your believers? Put it that way. Oh no, I don't think so. Damn. He slowly licks his lips and starts talking again. Our doors are always open to believers. I simply ask that you not disturb the peacefulness of daybreak. You resist the temptation to punch his brains out. We have a very tight-knit community and our bonds are very strong. He holds one hand out to indicate the exit, like the drop of an axe, he says. I wouldn't want to keep you. Don't make a scene. Don't draw any attention to yourself. You make a U-turn and walk towards the exit. On your right, the wall painting depicts a crowd of believers looking at various scenes. It reminds you of the movies. The drawing style is simple and almost childlike. The colors are gaudy, like it was painted by a 9-year-old. You look down. As you leave the church, so you don't lose your temper, you concentrate on the floor tiles. They're checkered, black and white. You slam the doors shut behind you. Back in your cab, back to breathing normally. You smile as you think about something your boss said. This taxi is your fishbowl. He's right about that. Key in the ignition, motor running, heat on, radio on. You drive far away from the church. We got some evidence, though. With that fish thing. I got Harvey again. I don't think it's going to be Harvey. I would be very surprised if it was Harvey. I know his last encounter with him was pretty sus, though, so... But I'm going to need to make money at some point, too, because every night I get charged, and he's not going to get me any money. So... I need to give someone else a ride. So we give this lady a ride, I guess? And then we'll go for another clue, maybe? Make some money, get a clue, make some money, get a clue. I don't know if I need to, like, sprint to all the clue places at once. You know, they might be there for a few days, so I might be able to spread it out. Before, they seemed really rare. That's why I'm usually excited to get them. I'm going to Tyrannus. Sure, saying that wrong? Patricia. A beautiful woman, climbs into your cab. There's something sensual and comforting about her. No, I just missed it. But don't worry, I'm taking a cab. Anyhow, I just wanted you to know. For a minute you think she's talking to herself, but she leans over and whispers her address to you. I think you really enjoyed it today. As you start the cab, you notice a hands-free headset particularly hidden, or practically hidden, sorry, by her thick head of hair. I'll massage his feet tomorrow, and I'll let you do the rest. A small laugh escapes her. Or the other way around, sure. And, Cruz? It's normal to feel a little awkward at first, or uncomfortable. I mean, not knowing what to do. But you'll see, a couple more days and you'll get the hang of it. Anyhow, you should get to bed now. You need to keep up your strength. She stopped talking. Her phone call is over. She catches your eye in the rearview mirror and bursts out laughing. You look shocked. Not at all. A little. It's none of my business. Say nothing. Not at all. Why am I shocked? Did I miss something there? Your passenger crosses her legs and gives you a playful pout. Tisk, tisk, I don't believe you. You're letting your imagination run wild. What exactly were you imagining? That I'm on my way home for a threesome or something? There's a mischievous gleam in her eye, I think is what I meant. Could be. She lowers her gaze and turns her head, serious all of a sudden. But I'm not. The truth isn't that rousy. Actually, I was at my son's house. Excuse me? Your passenger roars with laughter. It seems to be doing her a world of good. No, sorry. You don't understand. I've been taking care of him since his accident. I'm a nurse. Oh, sorry. Don't be. You had nothing to do with it. She pauses dramatically. At least, I don't think you did. You don't happen to drive a semi in your spare time, do you? A smile of dry amusement flickers across your passenger's face. Anyway, he's been in a coma for weeks now. Grade 2, not a total vegetable, but not all that hardy either. So I had them move him to his place. Cruz and I are taking care of him now. Cruz, his place? Cruz? His fiancée. A lovely girl. Your passenger puts her hand to her mouth to smother a giggle. Totally inhibited, but sweet. Very religious. She prays in Spanish at his bedside every night. They've been going out for 2 years now, and I still don't think they've... She blushes. Well, you know. A brief silence. You find yourself trying to think of something to say. How are you holding up? How do you take care of someone in a coma? How long have you been a nurse? How are you holding up? Your passenger doesn't answer right away. You're afraid you've embarrassed her, but her face looks relaxed. I work in palliative care, you know. I've spent the last 8 years of my life taking care of people who are going to die. Hey, what's up, Dolly? How are you? Good to see you. It's been a while. Hopefully you're doing good. The only question worth asking is, how long before they die? It helps keep things in perspective. In my son's case, there's still hope, and at least I can help. I mean, I know how to do it anyhow. For one thing, there's a day-to-day stuff. Nails, hair, beard, it all grows like crazy. There's a lot of maintenance, like a gardener. Same for the teeth. You have to brush them every now and then. Because believe me, if Titoan wakes up looking and smelling like a werewolf, we'll never hear the end of it. A smile escapes you. Your passenger sees it in the rearview mirror and is clearly pleased. But the biggest risk is not being able to move. Our bodies are meant to move. You're still alive, so that's a plus. Yeah, well, that's good, dog. I'm glad to hear that. What you been up to lately? Anything cool? Any cool news or anything? But the biggest risk is not being able to move. Yeah, our bodies are meant to move. I know, it's hard to believe when our alarm clocks go off, but it's true. Our blood circulation stops working correctly, our skin gets cold, loses all of its elasticity. So we have to massage him as often as we can. And then there are bed sores. Do you know what bed sores are? I think so. No, don't really want to know. I think so. In the hospital, there are a lot of patients who are still conscious and who have bed sores. Their bodies are racked with pain. It's like being skinned alive. The worst part is we have to change their bandages twice a day. Talk about brave. Working in the hospital is hard. The work, it's pretty depressing, but in Tituan's case, it's different. I don't have a choice. It has to be done. And actually, I'm happy. We can't talk to each other anymore. He doesn't even react when I touch him. So taking care of him is just my way of showing him I love him. That's a good thing, isn't it? Yes, it is. Pretty odd, huh? But that's how it goes. Your passenger shudders briefly. Oh, Patricia. Enough of that depressing stuff. Let me tell you something funny. Earlier tonight, when Cruz and I were watching Tituan. Not exactly a pleasure cruise. My son is well over 6 feet tall, and Cruz is a cross between a matchstick and a Q-tip. So I was managing as best I could, rolling him onto one side and then the other. She was trying to help, though the truth is it was pretty hard for her to take. I mean, it's all new to her. It can't be that much fun. So she was muttering religious mumbo-jumbo to herself in Spanish, Dios mío, or what not. And just as I was rolling Tituan back onto his back, guess what? He got an enormous erection. Oh no. I'll laugh at that. For once you start to laugh, your passenger joins in. The two of you enjoy a good long laugh. After a while, your passenger manages to catch her breath. A big old hard-on. Oh gosh. How did Cruz react? First she turned bright red, and then she pulled the sheet up over him as fast as she could. Your passenger marks a short pause to emphasize what's coming. But it looked even worse. Just like Casper the Ghost. Oh gosh. Peals of warm laughter fill the air. For a moment you are happy, as if a weight is lifted. I'm getting a French bulldog next month, 5 years old. Oh, cool. Called Dottie. Nice. Well, that'll be fun. Congratulations on that. That'll be cool. You pull up to the address she had given you. You stop the cab, and she hands you the fare. Thanks for the conversation. The ride went by really fast. She reaches for the door, then stops. You can sense she's really on edge. It's good to be able to talk. It's pretty unusual in Paris to meet someone so warm. Good luck, good night, good luck? She shrugs automatically, as if she didn't understand what you meant. Same to you. Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, good luck, I'm not sure with what, but alright. She shuts the door carefully, then walks away. Your eye follows her as she climbs the steps to the door of her building. A moment later, she's gone. As you start the cab, you catch a sight of something on the back seat, a Kleenex. You wriggle around to pick it up. Oh, read it. Read it. You unfold the handkerchief. You see the word Patricia and a phone number written inside. You look up at the building and smile. Oh, okay, she left her number. Oh, I see. You notice a newspaper on the back seat. Your last passenger must have left it behind. Or was it the one before? You grab it and put it away. Could come in handy. You turn the key in the ignition and drive away. You know, that's exactly what I was thinking, Anne. How did she write on the Kleenex? Yeah, she must have had like a Sharpie or something, I guess. Like, you'd have to have some sort of marker, I would assume, to mark on a Kleenex, or else it's just gonna tear. But hey, whatever. I'm not gonna question it too much, huh? Should have been a napkin, right? Or a scrap of paper, or something like that. But that's alright, I'll allow it. So we're all the way over here. We do have some clues nearby. Let's go to this clue. And we do have a newspaper we can read at some point. You look the Belvedere over. Belvedere? I don't know what that word is. It's a rather unamusing bar that had its heyday at the end of the 1980s. The exterior decor is over the top, molding with embedded statues, fake ivy painted along the walls. It's probably even worse inside. You glance at the time. They're about to close. Must be a small party. You leave your cab, walk towards the bar, and push the door open. Dim lighting. Almost no one here. Not even that one passenger of yours, the one you often drive here, is in tonight. You walk over to the bar. A young woman, no more than 20, looks slyly at you. There are dozens of kinds of liquor behind her. We're closing. She's putting glasses away. They clink in her hands. I have some questions for you. I am a private investigator. Sorry to have inconvenienced you. I have some questions for you. She freezes and looks you in the eye. When she starts speaking, her tone is icy cold. What do you want to know? Is it about the Angel of Death victims? You wait a second. Which victims? Exactly? Not at all? Which victims? I guess, since she's the one that brought it up. Which victims? The first two victims, the fireman and the vegan activist one. Simon Columb and Jules Lima? They came in a lot. They were good clients, regulars. Simon didn't drink, but he liked the atmosphere. Jules was kind of an ass, with the staff, but he often brought dates here. He was a hard worker, a really smart guy. She leans over. But I know something else. It's not something I tell just anyone. She slides her elbows across the bar until she's less than a meter from you. 150 euros, and I'll tell you who knew Jules and Simon very well. I guess I'll pay for it. It's a clue, right? It might be a useless one, I guess, but we'll try it. I got enough money. You pay her. She slides the bills between her fingers. Apolline Grierdau. Okay, see, that was really good because she's one of my people too. A regular. She's like a fixture here. She likes them young, and I know she's scored with Simon and Jules. She and the fireman had a thing way back. But she was too sketchy for him. She's part of the Mooney Toonies. You know what that is? The cult? Precisely. She nods her head and tops it off with a wink. I've got to get back to work. Hope that was helpful. Me too. A few seconds later, you're back in your taxi. You take a minute to think about this new intel. You wonder if you're moving in the right direction. A group of teens crosses the street. One trips on the curb and wipes out on the sidewalk. His friends laugh at him. You start driving and leave them behind. Oh, look at that. We got a suspect right here. Oh, two of them. Holy crap. If one of them was the Apolline girl or whatever, I would have gone with her, but I'm going to go with him because he's closest, I guess? I don't know that either of them really have any more likelihood of being the bad guy, so we'll go with him. Either way, it's the first time I've given either of them a ride. Jonas. Need to drive to Issy or Lissy? Issy? Accept. The passenger getting in your cab barely says hello. He mumbles an address and buries his head in his laptop. He taps away, not saying a word as you start driving. You have seen passengers like him before. Introverts, silent types. People so absorbed in what they are doing they don't even notice you. The road flies by. The sound of the passenger's fingers on the keyboard reminds you of the sound of the rain hitting the hood of your car. Having a good evening? Gotta try to get some information out of him, right? He grumbles a laconic reply. A laconic? He dives back into his computer screen. You keep an eye on him. His fingers are flying. You get the impression he's not typing full sentences. The rhythm is too short, halting. Are you writing a novel? Are you a programmer? Well, if he's not writing full sentences, then he's not writing a novel, right? Wouldn't that be full sentences? It'd be, are you a programmer? He lifts his head and looks at you with interest. In a matter of speaking, how did you know? From the way you were typing. He pauses and flashes a tiny smile. Very perceptive. He stares back at his computer and types a few lines on the keyboard. He lifts his head all of a sudden. What do you think of the world? Okay, that's kind of random. He holds his hand up. Sorry, that question came out of nowhere. How do you perceive the world? Did someone create it? A god? Many gods? An alien being? You remain silent for a moment. Tell the truth, don't answer, avoid the subject. I guess tell the truth? Seems like he just wants to hear your perspective no matter what it is. And what is our perspective? I don't know what our character thinks. I used to believe, but I don't anymore. In God, Yahweh, Allah? Tell the truth. Allah. The passenger nods. But not anymore? Nope, not anymore. Or no more. I understand. Things have been rough for believers lately. I stopped believing long before. He smiles. You hesitate and say, I'm just not interested. He smiles at you. I get it. I feel the same way. Personally, I believe that all of this, he indicates the world around him, is of absolutely no importance. The world doesn't exist. The earth, the moon, the sun, how you felt when you got out of bed this morning, none of that exists. He pauses dramatically, no way to know whether or not it was on purpose. Excuse me? He believes it's all a simulation. I think there was something in his profile that said something like that. He clicks his tongue and stares at you. You feel uncomfortable. All of this is a simulation. I sincerely believe that. A computer simulation? He flashes a crooked smile. Exactly. We're more of a scientific experiment. A cryptocurrency mining operation. Or maybe even an accident. No more, no less. He pauses and looks at you. How does it feel to learn that the world doesn't exist? That our God is nothing more than a computer program? Sad, it's one theory, it's interesting, say nothing. It's one theory? Right, it's a theory. He smirks. And we'll probably never really know That's why I'm working on this project. He glances at his computer. I'm trying to figure out whether or not we really are in a simulation. We live, we eat, we sleep, we love. But if we deliberately try to put an end to the simulation, we might disappear. He stares intently at you. We are. He snaps his fingers. We are no longer. He seems to love that part of his speech. He's relishing in it. How can I prove it? Well, first I have to find a flaw in the system. A flaw? Yes, if we are a simulation, we are programmed. And the ones who programmed us either made mistakes or tried to save money. And just let him keep talking. So we just have to find the float value, the weak spot, so we can break it. We've got to crash the simulation and die in order to understand our own reality. It's a terrible fate, isn't it? Die to exist. Die to become real. Die to make our existence materialize. He pauses, smiles, stares. How does it feel to learn all that? Are you angry? Are you disappointed, sad, defeated, ready to commit suicide? I go through all of those phases every day. He sighs. I tell myself the world isn't ready yet. And yet, it's our future to discover our reality. He chuckles. You park your taxi in front of the address he gave you. He looks deeply into your eyes. So, how do you feel? You're crazy. I don't know. I feel scared. Say nothing. I'll say I don't know. Excellent answer. A scientist's cardinal rule: always doubt, always question, and always verify. One day, if an atheist states that Allah doesn't exist, that he knows is because there is no scientific proof of his existence, you will know that he does not have a true scientific mind. He looks up at his building. I'm talking and talking and didn't even notice we've arrived. I thank you kindly for this talk. It's always interesting to bounce ideas off one another, to put them to the test. After all, we're waiting to wage war with the person or entity that made us. He pays his fare and gets out. He disappears quickly into his building, his laptop under one arm. I feel like I need to put this. That guy was very much on the vibe with that. Just gonna put that out there. And he paid us $23. Let's see what we got. Harvey needs another ride. Dude, you don't pay any money and I need to make money, my friend. Or on the mushroom vibe, yeah, right. I wonder how he finds or plans to find the float value. I guess he doesn't have a plan, right? That's his whole thing, is that he's like, how do I do it? Gotta find that float value or whatever. I'm gonna switch to seated position real quick, guys. 1 second. Good. And we're good. All right, there we go. Now, who should we give a ride to? I don't want to give Harvey another ride because he doesn't make me any money. I guess I probably have enough money to sacrifice it for him, but I don't know. Let's see. How far do you want to go? Oh my gosh, he wants to go that far? I need a ride, cabbie. Nah, I'm good. That's a lot of ways to go without paying me, dude. Sorry, bro. It ain't happening. Hey, that's the guy that was in the last one. Let's see. Guess I just gotta give some rando a ride here. I'll go with this guy. I don't recognize his face. See what he's all about. Wait, what? So my Twitch app bugged out on me. It had me in a loop of yesterday's Paper Mario stream? What, really? Had to sign out and back in. You didn't miss the cat. No, we haven't interacted with the cat. We did just give a ride to, what was his name, Jonas or something like that? He was the programmer. He's one of the suspects. And then we just had a conversation about whether or not existence is real or not, because he believes that everything's a simulation, and he's just trying to like prove that. And so that kind of lends a little bit to like a serial killer mentality, because he was talking about how in order to stop the simulation you have to kill yourself or whatever like that, or something like that. So it's like, well, maybe he's killing these people because he's trying to figure out how to prove that it's a simulation. I don't know. Just a thought. Yeah, we're still on night one, so you really haven't missed really anything yet, so I think you're good. You know how slow this story can kind of unfold. So now we're giving a ride to this guy. The passenger slides into your cab. You instantly recognize him, the priest you've already driven. Ah, how lovely to see you again. Likewise. Really, what a nice surprise. He gives you an address, the same one as last time, and you start driving. It's funny, I was thinking about you this morning. I was talking with a colleague, and I told him about our little swap. You sense that he is suddenly uncomfortable, tense, something is wrong. He catches your eye. He is hiding something. Yeah, we got weird for sure. Yeah, the simulation combo was definitely weird. He just kept asking us questions. We were like, okay. And he kept saying, like, well, how do you feel about learning that, dude? How do you feel about that? Be laying this sick knowledge on you. How do you feel? May I make a confession? Go ahead. See, I think you have a sort of gift. Like an aura. I felt incredibly good after our last discussion, and that's why I'd like to talk to you about something. Something complicated. Do you remember the story I told you the last time? I mean, I don't think we ever gave this guy a ride. So, no. I had a widowed parishioner who was worried about being openly in love with a new woman. He didn't want to break the vows he'd taken with his wife. Well, how can I put this? The story wasn't really true. Well, not entirely anyway. It wasn't a widower, but a priest. His voice plummets into the lowest notes and becomes almost a purr. Me. It's my story, and I haven't shared it with anyone, except you. You're the first person to know, and the only person. He's almost shaking and seems about to break down. Also, I lied. I asked your company if I could have you as a driver. I felt so much better after talking to you the last time. Talking to you opened my eyes. I cannot continue to carry the burden of this problem. I'm glad we helped him out last time. Problem, or rather, situation. He heaves a mammoth sigh. You're familiar with those sighs, as if a huge weight has suddenly been lifted from your chest. A gust of fresh air flowing through into your lungs like you've opened up a grave for the first time in 10 centuries. My situation, I'm in love with a woman. He is speaking quicker now. It's liberating. Elise. His deep voice vibrates like a bow running quickly over a bass string. We've been in love for 3 years. She and her husband often came to our masses and local events. They're not from Paris, you see. They were looking to build a community, and we're welcomed into our church. Her husband passed away, suddenly, a terrible illness. Just terrible. His eyes dart back and forth, as if he'd suddenly become blind. She needed help, support. We became close. Too close, perhaps. What happened is all my fault. I didn't know how to react, how to say no, to stop. It was too late. That was 3 years ago now. He pauses. Now, words aren't coming easily this evening. I love her, and she loves me. You are driving me to her place, where I sleep almost every night. He is pale, shaken, and takes a few seconds to gather his thoughts. This is all strictly prohibited, obviously. That's no news to you. I'm not supposed to love a woman, live with a woman, make with a woman. He looks at you. You understand, don't you? You slowly nod. I made a lifetime vow to God. I cannot abandon him here, now. But I love this woman. He stops speaking. You pull over in front of the address he gave you, the same as last time. I'm going to go up and mull the situation over. I'm sorry to have bothered you with my problems. It's not a bother at all. Maybe you should sleep on it first. That's nothing. It's not a bother at all. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear you say that. He smiles, but only on the outside, still shaking. Not a lifestyle for all. The Sound of Music proved that, yeah? You know, I feel like I don't know the story of The Sound of Music. I know I've seen it, but I think I was just like too young to really have it like sink in. So I don't really know the story of them. What happened in there? I've always thought that rule was silly. Yeah. Yeah, not to be able to be with like someone you love or whatever because you're a holy person or something like that. Definitely seems like one of those ones that's becoming like archaic or whatever, draconic. I don't know if that would be the word, you know, like a rule that most people I think would disagree with anymore. Maria was a nun. She had to leave the convent to marry the count. Who are you referring to? Just finished my lemonade. Oh, the guy with all the kids. The Sound. Oh, you're talking about Sound of Music. Gotcha. Sound of Music's main character was originally studying to become a nun and then fell in love. Oh, okay. Gotcha. So that's like the kind of the plot of it there. The synopsis maybe would be a better term for what that was. I feel like I know the music. I remember the music more than I remember the story, apparently, because I feel like I can pull lines from it, I think. Anyways, I'm going to go to her now. Do you? It's a strange thing to see an adult on the brink of sobbing, and it makes you uncomfortable. Can I see you again to talk? In spite of how I must look, I swear I feel better. Relieved. Yes. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. I must go. She's waiting for me. He smiles, reassured. A few seconds later, he appears to be his usual calm self once again. He pays his fare, gets out of the cab, and walks away towards the entrance to the building. He closes the door slowly with care. Ooh, nice. Look at that big old tear. Fat tears. Yep, and then there were the Nazis. Oh, yeah. Let me see. I think I need to refresh one of my things on OBS. One sec, guys. Refresh. Okay, that should hopefully help. Okay, cool. All right, so don't have any evidence too close to us. How about, do we have any suspects? Ooh, yeah, we do. I should pick her up. Yep, let's just go straight to her. Gotta get that evidence. I'd like to just get to know the suspects, you know? Now, there's that girl that we're passing by. She was a big movie person, I think. She was big on movies. '11th arrondissement, please. Arrondissement. I'm probably saying that wrong. Except, let's go. The next passenger climbs into the cab and slams the door. The entire taxi shakes for a few seconds. When she tells you where she wants to go, her voice cuts through the night. She has a rather pronounced Spanish accent and a lilt you recognize immediately. A lilt? Lilt. Alright, I'm gonna look this word up really quick. I've never heard of a lilt. I think this game has used it before. A characteristic rising and falling of the voice when speaking. A pleasant, gentle accent. Oh, okay, so it's kind of like a sing-songy voice sort of thing. A lilt. Okay, cool. You from Marseilles? Marseilles? She lifts her eyes towards yours. Yeah. You pick up on the surprise in her voice. How did you know that? I recognize your accent. No one recognizes my accent. The journalists all still think I'm Spanish. The journalists? She lowers her eyes. Am I supposed to know who you are? I am Pierrette Menderes. Lilts are often used in Celtic singing. Yeah, well, from the sounds of it, it's just like something just in speech as well. A characteristic of rising and falling of the voice when speaking. So that's interesting. Very fascinating. She watches you. I'm the chef at La Pierre. Or La Pierre, is that what it is? I do not know French words. You nod. I don't know. I don't know it. Before you can even finish your sentence, she flashes you a smile. Don't worry about it. It's too late now, anyway. I'm closing the restaurant. Not enough clients, too much work. Why? Let's ask her straight up why. Your passenger size. You see, we lost a star. We used to have 2, and now only have 1. I know it seems trivial. It's just a star attributed by a food critic, but it's the beginning of the end, of a slow and painful death. I don't want to live through that. So I'm closing. I told everyone tonight we'll finish out the week and pack up. I'm giving them all 2 months' pay so they can enjoy the holiday and relax a bit. Something outside the car catches her eye. We could all really use a break. Would you leave without putting up a fight? It's a tough profession. I feel like that's the question. You're gonna leave without putting up a fight? Because it seems like wouldn't that just tell you that you need to then do better if you truly want to do this? It sounds like she's kind of just like quitting because she failed once, in a way, you know what I mean? So how about you're going to leave without putting up a fight? Put up a fight? You've hurt your passenger's feelings. Oh no, you can tell she's angry, that she's taking deep breaths to stifle it. I won't tell you how to do your job, and I'm not going to complain. Out of the question. She looks away. You can tell she's calming down. Like you, we work odd hours, weekends, holidays, throughout the summer. I know you get it. She sniffles softly. I make a good living, but even more importantly, I think this is the life I chose. I hope you're also living the life you chose. She clicks her tongue and swears, though you couldn't quite hear what she said. The pressure, it's unbelievable. It's what drives us to work hard, be creative, make constant improvements, but when you lose a star... She takes a break, a much-needed one. Her voice was about to crack. Your whole business falls apart when you lose a star. All your doubts come back to haunt you. Oh yeah, I haven't done Glimmers for a while. Shiloh, I have an update in the Discord if you want to check out that message about why I've stopped streaming on Glimmers for now. Yeah, I haven't streamed on Glimmers for about a week, I think, at least. But thanks for coming by. Good to see you again. It's clearly been a while. No matter what you do, it's a losing battle. If you try to maintain the quality of your establishment, they call you blind and incapable. If you try to make a real change, they say you're not serious, that you're unstable. Oh, just got back from vacay today? Nice! Well, how was your vacation? That's awesome. Hopefully it was awesome. I'm doing great. Having a good time. We got the streaming computer, had to get an update while you've been out. And so we're capable of doing some fun stuff here. Let me give you a little taste here. We can do
some different voice filters and stuff
that I have set up now, which that's pretty fun. And what else do I have?
Oh, I got some reverb up in here. So yeah, we can do some cool stuff. That's all because you guys donated and I was able to upgrade the streaming PC, so now it is a better PC that is allowing me to do cool stuff like that. So heck yeah. Flew for the first time. I forgot about this game. Hell yeah. Wow, flew for the first time. How was that? I haven't flown since I was a kid. So I feel like if I ever flew again, it would feel like the first time. You know what I mean? It's just been so long. Yeah, so far this game's pretty cool. And we just started this story because there's like 3 different like stories in this game. So we just started the second story tonight. So you haven't really missed a whole lot on this specific storyline. So that's cool too. I think we're still on our first real night of gathering evidence. Her voice is no more than a whisper. That's why I'm closing. So losing battle, no more energy, nod. Maybe I'll acknowledge that it's a losing battle. I mean, she seems like defeated, and I don't want to piss her off because we try to get information from her. I feel like nodding's not going to get information from her. So maybe I'll say it's a losing battle. Yeah, the dice are clearly loaded. She shrugs. She looks out the road going by. What are you going to do now? Are you going to change professions? Yeah, what are you going to do now? Keep cooking. I started cooking because I loved fish and seafood. I'm not going to stop because of all of these moronic Parisians. I'm going to get back to cooking in my kitchen and making the food I want to make. The sea contains such beautiful things. I want to get back to fishing, you see? Digging my hands into fish. She pauses. You notice the frankness of her voice. She talks to you like a friend. You're from Marseilles, too? Is that it? You nod. Whereabouts? I don't have any reason to lie, tell the truth. La Timon. Your neighborhood, your childhood. Your passenger makes a little noise in reply. Not the best neighborhood to grow up in, I imagine. What with the highway right there? She sighs. For a second, you can hear the highway buzzing by over your head. Cars going back and forth, day and night. Bit of a crazy weather, but fun. Oh yeah? Well, that's rough. Does he still think the pretty lady is the murderer? The pretty lady? Did we think the pretty lady was a murderer? I don't remember that. I don't know. I remember being pretty sure it was the cop. It was the cop, by the way. Last time, just spoiler alert. But it was there was 2 cops, but it was one of the cops last time. Although not the worst. You're not far from your destination now. Your passenger starts talking in a low voice. You can't tell if she's talking to you or to herself. I want to find a little someplace nice near the coast. I have cash. I have time. I have the desire. I bought it all. Her voice drops. I'm going to tell them all to go fuck themselves. She laughs, a deep, guttural laugh. You park in front of the unassuming gray building. Your passenger goes to pay you. I live in a tiny apartment, bare bones. I usually have dinner about this time. She sighs. You want to come up? You look right at her. Okay, but not for long. No, thank you. I guess okay, but not for long, because she's a suspect. So just to bring anybody up to speed, she's one of my suspects. So I need to get information out of her as much as I can in case she is the killer. But it also seems like a bad idea to go alone with the killer to their apartment. But I don't know. Let's just do it. Okay, but not for long. She flashes you a warm grin. You lock up the taxi and follow her into the building. She wasn't lying about her place. Small, simple, with no decoration more or less. The strict minimum. She begins to move about the kitchen. You want something to drink? Accept. You watch her uncork a bottle and pour 2 glasses. You don't miss a single move. Bouchées de Rhum. Nothing fancy, but it should do the trick. You know nothing about wine, but you find it exceptional. While she's quickly getting dinner ready, you examine her place. Nothing suspicious yet. It looks like a place owned by someone who works a lot. It's the perfect occasion to rummage around a bit, but you're worried about leaving her alone. Where's your bathroom? Watch her. Might have a look around. Maybe where's your bathroom? By the front door, just after the bedroom. You nod and start walking around. It's a really small place. The bedroom looks as narrow as it does comfortable. The bathroom is clean and simple, and that's it. Nothing suspicious, no surprises. When you come back, she's done cooking. It's ready. You watch her hand as she prepares your plate, soft, efficient, in control. She's a pro. She pushes the plate over to you. A ruby-colored tuna fillet cooked on one side, raw on the other. Capers, carrots, a white vegetable you don't recognize. Oh, that's a candied pear with ginger. You taste the dish. Refreshing, light, a bit spicy. You never really eat anything this exquisite. You see a shimmer in her gaze. She seems happy. An hour later, you go back downstairs. For the first time in months, you feel calm. Your head is spinning a bit, just the right amount. You hold tight to the steering wheel for a minute before driving off. Oh yeah, we just drank some wine and then went driving. Well, whoopsie. Didn't think about that part. We'll just keep that between you and me, alright? Alright, let's see. I got a gas station there. I'm not doing too bad on gas, but I don't have much time. Maybe I'll just go straight to this evidence. I assume I have enough time. Do I? A bakery on your right is lit up. 2 bakers are smoking in the doorway. Those bakers are getting baked, huh? Paul told you to drop by the night of the week. Or any night of the week. Why could I not read that? You guys hadn't talked in several months. You see him leaning up against the wall of the local fire department. And that in here? Get out of here. Behind a garage door, through the metal panels, you catch sight of a huge red truck. You wanted to be a fireman when you were little. You get out and walk over to Paul. He's a tall, bright-eyed, and good-natured guy. You're both from the same neighborhood. His mom is from Reunion Island. His father from Marsalis. It's been ages. He goes to greet you with a cheek kiss and changes his mind, sticking out his hand. You shake it, iron-hard grip. I asked about Simon. Or asked around about Simon. Simon Columb, the Angel of Death's first victim. Paul seems distraught, devastated even. The guy was a hero. You know we don't use the term lightly here, but... Paul has been a fireman since he was a teenager. When you were helping your brother deal drugs, he was already helping to save lives. A hero. What is it? But there's a but. I'm gonna say, what is it? What you holding from me, bro? Paul bites his lip. He's uncomfortable. He doesn't like to talk about his job. Maybe he's sorry about your last conversation. Simon was seeing a shrink. Nothing out of the ordinary. He sees some not so nice things sometimes. Or we see some not so nice things sometimes. He'd been feeling really guilty since the Albatross fire. He wasn't able to save anyone. The whole brigade got there too late to intervene. He was torn up about it though, really shaken. The other guys in his unit were worried about him. Suicidal, is that common? Shit. Suicidal? Maybe. He sniffles. A passing car lights up his face. Simon was raised in a very rigid, very Catholic family, like Mass and Greek and all that. Becoming a firefighter was not an easy feat, but the Albatross fire destroyed him. He felt something indescribable, even for us. He waves his hand to put an end to the discussion. But he was murdered, so sorry. I'm not sure any of this helps much. It does. Thank you, Paul. Paul sniffles and grabs your arm. I also wanted to take the opportunity to apologize for my behavior. When Tangy died, I shouldn't have been so distant. But I needed to cut myself off from everything that reminded me of him. I miss Tangy. Me too. He looks around, like he's scared someone might see him. He's shaking from the cold. Okay, I've got to run. Take care. Back in your cab. As you stare into the rearview mirror, you try to remember what Tangai's last laugh sounded like. Tangai's? Tangai's? It looks like Tan Guy. Like he's a tan dude. He was one of your regulars. Got sick. It destroyed him. He and Paul often called you for a ride home from the movies or a show. You miss his laugh. There was something messy about it, something chaotic and joyful. You start the car and go back to your shift. That should be just about the end of the night. So we'll head home. I've always wanted to do this, like, TV head thing or whatever. I've never been able to give that person a ride. Whoever that is. Alright, so you have met Patricia. I guess we're gonna meet her again, huh? Patricia gave you her number. Oh, hell yeah. We still got it. Oh, I made more losses than profits. That's not good. You have met Jonas. You understood Jonas was a programmer. You were straight with Jonas about your beliefs. That I was. And then Christoph, you found out his secrets. You have met Pierrette. And we also had dinner with her or whatever. Told her the truth. I don't think I had to sit through these guys. Oh, I don't. There we go. At the foot of your front door, just behind a drain pipe, you notice an envelope. It's thick and heavy. You can just make out your name, written in thick black marker on the front. Your real name. You take a deep breath and go inside. In the envelope, you find more information, just as Bus had promised. 3 clues. You lay them on the table. You take a few minutes to update your board with your new clues. Your neighbor flushes the toilet. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see the pipe shake. You take your shoes off before getting to work. Okay, we have pictures of the crime scenes. Alright, let's look at them. I'll have to look at them once they're on the board, because I don't think it lets me examine them. No, what? Do we not get to look at the pictures now? Okay, at least it tells us the message, I guess. Trying to find all the loose clues and kind of get them moved away from clues that have lines on. Why is that? I still don't understand why the garlic thing's attached to her. It must be because of the cult that she's in or something? Something with that. Oh yeah, Charlotte, did you notice our little boobot guy right here as well? He's new. He says hi to anybody when they first chat on the stream. And he does other things too, like when you do the do it command or the hell yeah command, he'll react to stuff like that. Alright, let's see what do we have now. Victim 1 couldn't save anyone in the Albatross. Felt guilt. Don't know what this would do for me at all, to be honest. That's ending the night. I don't want to do that yet. Message on the crime scene 3 is equal to lust. Okay. Message on the crime scene 2, he watches you. Well, that seems very religious sounding, right? Maybe even culty. And then the other message was only one God on crime scene 1. And it had the picture of the fish. Which, I guess that sounds not as culty and more like Christian, right? Fish symbol seen in her church. Message says only one God. Fish, original symbol for Christianity. Stacking some stuff on there. And also that he lusts and he watches you, I guess. A sin and he watches you. Starting to kind of stack up on this lady. I haven't got to give her a ride yet. Victim 2, open door to killer. Victim 2, client of Villaverde. What did this matter? Location. From the bartender. Oh, is that the name of... Yeah, at the bar. So I don't know how that matters. They were both clients of that bar. They had this actually has more to do with this lady because they both slept with this lady, having met her at the bar. Victim 1, strictly religious family. I guess that kind of attaches to Gilda a little bit. She's religious, but only in that way. And the MO is slits throat, words written in blood, blood missing. I don't really, that sounds more ritual, if anything, which would be like culty, I would assume. Break-in for crime scenes 1 and 3. Okay, that doesn't really tell me anything. Jonas believes we're in a simulation. Yes, he does. Don't know how that really helps that much. Hero before, loved by everyone. That doesn't really help me a whole lot either. Nor does the height of the victim. I mean, of the killer. And I don't know why this one matters. Okay, I think I got all the news stuff is now organized. And we'll just go on. And the night there. I like the cuckoo words lady with the eaglet. Oh, the cuckoo words lady. I gotcha, yeah. For sure. Yeah, she just ran down the street in the rain or whatever because the words were gone. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I already forgot about that. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You pull open the sofa bed, which unfolds with an unpleasant creak. You collapse onto the mattress. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. You open one eye. Your attention turns to shouting upstairs, a door slamming. Typical. You get up quickly. And a few minutes later, you're outside your studio. Alright. Oh, hey, there's that Gilda lady. You're definitely gonna give her a ride right away. I think as far as timing wise for the rest of the stream, I'll probably end up doing this night and game, and then we'll probably call it a stream there, and then we'll save the rest of this this investigation for next week, I think. Night 3. I think there's 6 nights. I could be wrong. I think so. I think there was last time anyways. Alright, going to Gilda. A gorgeous luxury car flies by you. It sets off the radar just ahead. You smile. I need to go to Notre Dame ASAP. Or Notre Dame, I should say. Your next passenger slips into the cab and closes the door with incredible care. Good evening, sir. Should I use a voice thing on her? I feel like they're all gonna sound weird and not realistic, but maybe I'll just try like a slight higher pitch one. I'll try it. You guys let me know if it sounds bad.
Good evening, sir.
She's one of the suspects, and her voice rings like a chime. High-pitched, discreet, ethereal.
Notre Dame de Paris, please.
As you pull away, you glance at the time. Not exactly time for a prayer. That was perfect. Did you... Oh, the voice changer? Was that... You guys like that on that one? Posted a song in Discord with a good example of Lilith singing. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, I'd love to better understand what that word is meaning, so thank you for that. I always like to learn new things. The master of the game described her voice as being... Right, yeah, you know, I thought that too, and yeah, I was like, whoa, that's kind of exactly what it explained it as, so perfect. All right, let me do something real quick. I'm gonna move my voice activation button real quick. Make it a little bit more comfortable. There we go. As you pull away, you glance at the time. Not exactly time for a prayer. You drive in silence for a few minutes, glancing at your passenger. She seems so fragile. You can't imagine her in the active.
My friend and I were wondering if you knew where the secret entrance to the catacombs is.
That's really sus to ask that question. Your question pulls you out of your thoughts. A secret entrance?
Yeah, you know, the catacombs. There's the main entrance, and there are hidden ones. They're not open to the public, of course, but that's what makes it fun.
The way she said fun made her sound about 7 years old.
We'd love to visit them on our own.
You shake your head. Unfortunately, you've never heard a thing about a secret entrance. I don't know, sorry. She seems disappointed.
I thought a taxi driver would surely know Paris really well.
Yes, but not the catacombs. You attempt to smile. She doesn't react. She did it. She's the killer. She's already talking about the catacombs and being weird.
You've never been?
You shake your head again.
It's so cool down there in the summer. I go often, though through the main entrance.
A break and then...
No, he doesn't know. I thought so too, but...
Did you say something? Were you speaking to someone? Let her be? Should I ask her about it? I don't want to make her mad. I'm gonna ask her, were you speaking to someone?
Wait. I was talking to my friend.
Your friend?
Of course. Jesus.
Oh, got it. Maybe she has multiple personality disorder. Yeah. Or there's a, Jesus in the back seat. Take a second to digest the information. Jesus? Jesus Christ? Beg your pardon? She's off her meds, you think? Oh no. Jesus is riding shotgun. I'm gonna say Jesus Christ?
Sure, who else?
But you talk about him to everyone?
Well, yeah, why shouldn't I?
People don't think you're... She cuts you off and becomes defensive.
Crazy? A liar?
She shrugs her shoulders and her face remains expressionless.
I don't care. Even if everyone else turns their back on me, I have Jesus. Even when I'm alone, I have Jesus.
She glances outside. You keep as much of an eye on her as you can in the rearview mirror.
I work at the Garnier Opera House. I'm far from the most eccentric one there.
Yeah, Jesus, take the wheel! Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too, still. Trying to work that joke in there somehow.
So Jesus and I are fine. People leave us alone.
She lets her face relax, smiles.
What about you? Anybody you speak to? Or anybody speak to you?
No. I don't like the X symbol next to that. I'm gonna say I don't think so.
I'm really lucky. I have Jesus Christ by my side.
But what does he say to you?
He's always by my side.
She pauses, as if realizing she hadn't been quite clear enough, not precise enough. Like she could tell you didn't get it.
He talks to me about people we see. He tells me who is good and who is bad.
Your blood curdles.
He tells me who I should avoid and who I should talk to.
What's he think of me? He's like a guide? That's great. Yeah, with the oh boy. What's he think of me?
Have you? It's funny you should ask that.
Her voice becomes softer. You can see Notre Dame. You're almost there.
I'm sure I've already met you. I don't know why, but you and I, us two, we've run into each other somewhere before. Haven't we?
You shake your head no.
Do you ever go to the opera?
No again.
Then maybe I've been in your taxi before?
You shake your head again.
Strange.
I think you tried to kill me because you're the murderer. The last word rings around the cab. It seems heavy and stifling.
What? Huh? Oh yes, it's true. Jesus is right. We're here.
You park. You can feel sweat running down your back. She giggles.
I hope to see you again in the city of God.
She drops money onto the front seat, more than enough for her fare. You raise your head, the door slams, your passenger is already outside. Your vote is on her? Yeah, I'm already feeling like it's her too. Like, oh man. You raise your head, the door slams, your passenger is already outside. Drive away. Call her or drive away? Call her. Drive away. Call the girl that I just dropped off? I'm gonna call her. Let's get weird. You lower your window. Miss! Her figure doesn't turn around as she keeps walking towards the cathedral. Miss? Yeah, do you remember? Oh, never mind. Yeah, just calling out the window, I guess. Run at. What am I? Did I miss something? Why are we doing this? I'm gonna run after her. Let's get weird. You take off your seatbelt, but when you get out, you're stopped by a stabbing pain. Your eyes blur. You can't see the dashboard controls anymore. Your scar, it's burning, itching. You breathe slowly. Breathe out for 7 seconds. In for 7 seconds. You repeat the cycle until you recover your sight. You repeat the cycle until your fingers stop shaking. You breathe. You glance outside. The young woman has vanished. You turn the key in the ignition. You slowly recuperate from the last ride, from the last passenger. That woman was a total nut job, no doubt about it. You drive away from Notre Dame. And what happened to the tip that was way more than for her fare? 18 cents? What? Oh, is he like Harry Potter and the scar burns when Voldemort is around? Yeah, that's a good one, Anne. That's what it seems like. Oh no, my scar! Ah, it must be her. He is the one who survived, or I don't remember what the one who lived. Yeah, the boy who lived. That's a good reference. So yeah, that was an interesting experience. Glad I picked her up. She is suspect number 1 now. She already had so much stuff stacking against her on the board too. It could be a total red herring, but we're falling right into it. We got a good amount of money. We could probably go for another clue. Get any gas at some point. I wish I could see where they wanted to go while I hovered over them. Let's see where Movie Girl wants to go. Hopefully she wants to go over here. Oh, you slow down a bit. You've just been hit with a migraine. Oh no, is my evil self gonna pop out again? You crack your window. Icy Parisian air fills the cab. You need to rest. You need coffee. You need to close your eyes. Just a minute. One tiny minute. Oh.
You don't need to sleep.
You raise your head and see yourself sitting in the back seat. Your gut clenches. No, it's more like someone is pulling your guts out.
Yeah, I look like shit. I know. No surprise considering all the crap I eat, right?
He smirks, or maybe it's just a smile. You can't quite tell.
I've just got one thing to say. It won't take too long. You'll be able to get back to defending the weak and the poor right after. And maybe cleaning up your reputation and that pretty face of yours. It occurred to me. Since your wife left you, you haven't gotten laid, have you? It must be hard on morale, huh? And I mean, there were opportunities. There was Cynthia, that her name? The nurse who changed the bag to piss?
He lets out a snicker.
Or that chick you never called back?
No, you like the voices? Yeah, isn't it fun? Definitely adds like a whole nother element that I could not do myself. Was he mugged and blacked out like in shock? You know, maybe, I'm not sure. I mean, that's kind of like what happened the night of. That's why it seems so suspicious that happened to be her and that happened again. Definitely a Voldemort-y vibe, huh?
Or that chick you never called back? What was her name again?
Julie, I don't know. I mean, Patricia the other day? I don't know. Don't answer. I'm gonna say I don't know. He glances sideways at you.
You know very well who I'm talking about. Go on.
His voice gets quieter. Sounds far away.
Say your name. What's the name of that girl you never called back?
I'll say Julie?
Yes, say it louder.
Julie.
Exactly.
Yeah, they just had more layers. Yeah, for sure. It just adds another layer, yeah, that I couldn't change. I couldn't do that with my voice, you know? Yeah. So I think it's pretty cool. I really like it so far. He smiles.
Julie. Julie. Pretty Julie. When was it? 5 months back? 6 maybe?
I don't know anymore.
A passenger. A smile. Numbers swapped in the taxi. A coffin. Her hair cut a bit too short. But you're into short hair, aren't you? You like it when they look like dudes, don't you?
Okay. I'm just gonna say nothing. Like, this guy is getting a little weird. You lower your eyes. Bits and pieces of the coffee date start to resurface.
So why didn't you call her back? Julie, she left you messages.
The last syllable hangs in the air.
She wanted to see you again. Julie.
The last syllable shimmers.
She wanted to keep conversing with you. Julie.
The last syllable burns. Leave me the fuck alone.
And go where? I've had enough, thanks. Now, you're going to listen to me, man. As soon as you finish doing your thing with that cop bitch, you're gonna call Julie. And you're gonna fuck her.
You cringe. Stop using that kind of language.
What kind? What'd I say?
You know exactly what you just said. You...
Fuck? Fuck her? Fuck Julie?
Shut your fucking mouth. His guttural laugh grates at your nerves.
Let me tell you why you don't have the balls to call Julie back. Because that Julie, she was smarter than you. Because you knew she was gonna talk about shit you wouldn't understand. Because you're too stupid.
His posture shifts. It's almost imperceptible, but it's like he is melting into the back seat.
You're too stupid.
You lose your temper. You turn around and scream at him. Just shut the fuck up already! He has vanished. You're alone in the cab. A truck passes by. The sounds of the city slowly come back to life. A metro in the distance. A party on the first floor of the nearby building. You turn the car on, but let your fingers linger on the keys. The metal is neither warm nor cold, just reassuring. You stay like that for a second before driving off. Is this the black and white odd taxi? It's night call, man. So it goes. That's romantic, right? That's a perfect use of that emo. I think stir fried. Like that moment was like, sorry, excuse me. What was that? This is the cop, right? No, it's not the cop. This is a version of ourselves. We saw this once in our last playthrough too, where it's just like it's our own inner self, sort of like our own inner demon in our back seat that sort of like antagonizes us for a little bit. And I'm not sure exactly what the purpose is besides to just sort of further characterize the main character, I think. But yeah, it's just like a dark self, yeah. Exactly as Ann said, the alternative self, it seems, yeah. So I felt it was the perfect time for the deep voice, so hopefully that added a pretty good amount to it, a pretty good level to it. But yeah, also, Stir Fry, good to see you, man. Been a while since I've seen you in the chat. Yeah, this is Stir Fry, in case you don't know, this is like a detective game where we're supposed to be like driving people around in our taxi and talking to them and getting clues and stuff. And yeah, sometimes really weird stuff happens, so it's definitely an odd black and white taxi game. So I don't really want to give Harvey another ride because it's always giving free rides, dude. But if he wants to go up here, come on and take a free ride. Just above your head, a man is smoking alone on his balcony. He's not wearing a shirt, something like that. Oh, well, he does want to go to the left. Man, I wish the game would show me a little bit more. Alright, let's go ahead and give Harvey a ride. We'll see what's up with him. He was doing some weird stuff last time. The door opens. It's Harvey. He greets you with his bizarre verbal tick, as usual. Getting damn cold out now. Ow. Hi, Harvey. You start the engine. Your passenger keeps looking over his shoulder, clearly worried. Is everything okay, Harvey? Yeah, sure. No worries. His voice trails off. He seems to be collecting himself. It's just... there's a cop on my tail. Jail. A cop? Has anybody come around asking about me? What do you mean? You know, like from the crime squad. Nah, nobody's been talking about me about... nobody's been talking to me about you. That guy's been driving me crazy, asking all those questions. They're digging up my past. You know what I mean? Digging up your past? Why is he doing that? Yeah, right, I get it. I guess I'll say, why is he doing that? His voice sounds shrill all of a sudden. I don't know, man. I don't know. At first I thought it was that killer, you know, the serial killer. That he was after me. Why would he be after you? Were you somehow involved in all that? Nah, not really. I just I saw that serial killer guy's face. He pauses. Just enough time for your brain to process the information. You saw the face of the Angel of Death? Your passenger gives you a funny smile. I saw him in profile. Mile. Harvey is my second favorite character after the cat. Oh, really? Yeah. He definitely has like a personality to him and stuff, and it's kind of fun to have somebody with a speech impediment, I guess, a little bit. I think it's kind of cool to add that kind of dimension to it. His profile or his face? profile, but what's the difference? Yeah, I was like 50 feet away from him, man. I was like sleeping in the alleyway just across the street from where, well, you know, he killed the last victim. My stomach hurt. I couldn't sleep. And, you know, I saw him in profile. He was short, real short, like no more than 5 foot or 2 or 3. He's staring at you. But why do you care, man? Just curious, that's all. I was just asking. I think I saw him too. I'll say I think I saw him too. The killer? Yeah. Shit, I didn't know. What happened? When? There's a note of urgency to his voice. 3 months ago? Yeah, at least I think I did. Not too long ago. I'll say, yeah, at least I think I did. I'm not so sure anymore. I hadn't had enough sleep. I was tired and... Yeah, I get it. I thought it was all a dream too, but no way, Harvey. He tosses his head as if to shake off the bad thought. But man, if that cop comes around and talks to you again, you tell him to go fuck off for me, alright? A note of anger has crept back into his voice. Goddamn cops. And they're there when you need them. Sure as hell ain't going to hell. Hell, you know. They can go kick sick. He looks away, furious. You keep quiet and focus on the road. All of a sudden, your passenger gives the seat back in front of him a thump. Hey, stop right there and here. You slow down and pull over as soon as you can. Okay, I'm out of here. Is everything all right? Hey, wait. See you later, man. I'm gonna say, is everything all right? Yeah, sure. No worries. Just a little business to take care of. The door opens, then closes, and Harvey vanishes into the darkness. You open the window on your side. You're dying for a cigarette. You relieve the pressure to calm your racing heart. You take a deep breath and drive away. So we had gotten some information there. I don't know. I feel like they make him a little bit more suspicious in this one for sure. That very reminds me of Doc from Boondock Saints screaming "fuck ass." Yeah, because he kind of just like says random stuff or whatever sometimes. Because yeah, the Doc from Boondock Saints, doesn't he have like Tourette's or something? The guy that just yells stuff or whatever. Because yeah, sometimes when Harvey's trying to say something when he's mad, he kind of just says like a random word in there. I think it's his verbal tick or whatever, because it usually kind of rhymes with the word right before it or whatever, like kick, sick. All right, before we get going too much more, I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. People in glass houses sink ships. Yeah, I know he always said weird stuff like that, right? Like you need to make like a tree and get the fuck out, I think he says at one point or something like that. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Okie doke. The end of his sentences. Fun fact: the same actor played another Doc in Fraggle Rock. Oh, really? Wasn't Fraggle Rock like a kid's show or something like that? I recognize the name, but I don't think I ever saw the show. Okay, let's see. Where are we? Well, we're pretty close to this one, so we're going to go to this evidence here. Try to gather all the clues. A horde of cop cars is headed down the street. No one notices you. You sigh. Is it a graveyard? You park in front of the Passy Cemetery. You're greeted by the large columns and a huge dark iron door. Yep, a Muppet spinoff. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I thought it was one of those shows. For some reason, it was giving me vibes like from Eureka's Castle vibes, like just from what I know about it, I guess. It's got like a Muppet-esque sort of thing. The door opens and you see your old buddy Marco. Marco, the one who stole your wife. You flash your headlights at him. He waves you over. Get out of your cab and join him. Buddy, can't believe you found my number. Honestly, how crazy. He fakes enthusiasm and sincerity, but his shaking hands betray him. Have you been to the cemetery before? It's stunning. No, Marco. Wait, come on. He turns on his flashlight and you start to wander among the tombstones. The cemetery is clean with straight lines of graves. It's very cold. I'm not gonna lie to you, it freaks me out a little bit that you want to know stuff about the cult. Especially since last time. I don't know if you remember last time, but I lost my job, man. I lost everything. He freezes and grabs your arm. Man, I swear, I don't want to lose what I've got here. I'm the cemetery watchman. I've got a gorgeous gal. So answer my questions. Is that what the nighttime tour is about? I'll say so. Answer my questions. It looked like you asked me to. I look like you asked me to. They're over there. He brings you a few meters further over to a strange tombstone. There's an evergreen growing where the patch of grass would normally be. Something is carved into the bark. You lean over. The flashlight illuminates the name Zita Valpierre, the third victim. This is where her ashes were buried, along with other members of the Mooney-Toonies cult. The cult. He glances around, like he's heard a suspicious noise. I see them every once in a while. They come to plant flowers and collect old bouquets. What are they like? They plant flowers. Nothing satanic. What are they like? Man, they're hippies. Nothing more. They're all like 70 years old at least. They talk about tantric love and wildflower infusions. He leans over to you, like he has a secret to tell. I don't really get what you've got against them. They're connected to the murders. I've got nothing against them. I guess I'll say they're connected to the murders. I don't know what these symbols mean most of the time. To the murders? To the angel of death? You nod. The flashlight wavers and shines all around you for 5 seconds like while Marco pouts. Holy fucking shit. No. Can't be that. This is another loser plan that's gonna get me fired. Can see it coming. He shines his flashlight towards the cemetery entrance. Come on, let's get out of here before the neighbors call the cops. When I do my rounds, half the time they think it's kids coming to spray paint the tombs. You follow Marco through the stones. In the glow of his flashlight, you catch glimpses of portraits of unassuming faces that ignore you. Once you get to the entrance, Marco turns his light off. Please, oh please, seriously, don't tell anyone I let you in. If my bosses find out, I'll be out on my ass, please. You shrug. Time will tell, no problem, say nothing. I'm gonna say no problem. The wife stealer sighs. You walk away without another word and get into your taxi. Once inside, in the warmth, you take a second to think about the new information you received before driving away. I mean, what did we really learn? Just that the cult, like that victim was a part of the cult? I always feel like it just leans more towards the really religious lady to have killed them, because maybe she's like mad at them for like believing in some cults, you know? Because that was just like these people from the cult come and they like, because they're sad that this person died and they leave flowers and stuff. That seems all pretty legit, you know? None of that seems suspicious. If they're just hippies and stuff, I don't know. I'm less suspicious of the cult at this point. Just the word cult just sounds suspicious, I guess, right? Alright, I got no suspects. I'm just gonna go straight for this other evidence, I guess. Let's knock all the evidence out. You park in front of Etienne's place and turn off the ignition. You've known him for years, actually since your first day behind the wheel. He was a skinny teenager you picked up late on Sunday nights to take back to his boarding school in the distant suburbs. It was well paid, but depressing. Etienne... I can't pronounce that word. It's just like not a name I've ever seen. Has since become my friend. He's got intel on one of your suspects, Jonas Pearson. Oh, the programmer guy. You knock on Etienne's apartment door, and he comes to open it. He's now a muscle-bound giant who towers over you. Maybe I should use, if he's a muscle-bound giant, let me use a low voice filter. Not the deep one, but just one that's a little bit lower. We'll try that.
Come on in. Don't look at the mess.
Yeah, funny statements. I am less suspicious of the cult. Yeah, we could do a quote of that if you wanted to. I think we should be exclamation point quote and then just write whatever the quote is. And you could save that if you wanted to. It should be working with mix it up like it used to. If you want. He talks quickly and his voice is a touch colder than usual. Something's not right. Or was it add quote? You know what? I have to look at the commands again. This should be on that command list that I had linked in the Discord if you want to look at that. So if you're interested in using the quote stuff. You walk into his pristine apartment. Oh wait, there's a gym towel lying on the designer coffee table. Yeah, total pigsty. You okay? Nice place, is what I'll say. He collapses onto the couch. His attitude makes you want to stay standing. Okay, so it must be add quote. You know, I can actually look it up really quick, so you don't have to bother with all that stuff, because it should be right here in front of me. Commands. Pre-made commands. Yeah, it's just the word add quote or quote add, and then it's, sorry, it's not quote. Quotes to bring up the quotes, yeah. So it's either add quote or quote add. Either one should work. Yeah, having to relearn the commands. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I don't like the idea of flipping back and forth between different platforms too often. Because of this kind of thing. We want to get used to things so that we can, you know, kind of just use them like it's second nature or something, you know? Alright, back to the game.
You're in deep shit.
Huh?
The guy you asked me to tail, I know him. Everyone knows him.
Jonas?
He's famous. He's like your equivalent of...
He waves his hand at you. There are no famous taxi drivers.
Fine, well, he's famous. Like, really famous.
Yeah, there you go. Successfully added quote. Nice. Oh, that's so funny. Streamlabs also heard it. I didn't think I had quotes enabled in Streamlabs. So now we gotta save twice. And I'm gonna have to disable the Streamlabs one because I like to mix it up one. But that's cool that they both worked. Better than neither of them. Well, he's famous. He's like really famous. What's so special about him?
He wrote books about simulation theory. You know what that is?
You shake your head.
You have to imagine our reality is a simulation. That the universe isn't run by God, but by a computer. A computer running software he believes is reality.
That's insane. That's ridiculous. Get what I wanted. I'm gonna say... You get what I wanted? Keep it straight with him, you know? I did a mod thing. Yay! Yeah.
Sorry, I'm talking too much.
Your friend clears his throat. You glance around and realize this young man must earn more in a day than you do in a week. If not more.
The simulation theory has recently led to the formation of several groups. Extreme believers, you might say. Groups that want to test the theory. Or rather, who want to prove it's true.
But how?
By crashing the system.
He stands up and starts pacing.
Jonas is a leader of one of these groups.
A terrorist? You think he could kill? All that just to prove a theory? I'm gonna say you think he could kill? There's not an ounce of doubt in his voice when he says...
Kill? Yes, no doubt. If it would prove his theory.
Tinian leans over to you. Every one of his arm muscles is flexed.
I don't really know what you need this information, but watch your back, or I might kick your ass with my huge muscles. Jonas is no altar boy. He's nobody's fool. Not your average nerd. He could be dangerous.
A few minutes later, you're back behind the wheel of your car. You feel uneasy. All that is over your head. Simulation, internet. You barely know how to use your phone. Come on. You shake your head and start the cab. You still got plenty of fish to fry. So, I mean, oh cool, we can take this lady. It feels like they're trying to throw some more shade on Jonas, but I don't know, because I feel like he doesn't have as much motive to kill these specific people, nor like leaving the messages. You know what I mean? Jonas and his whole simulation theory makes no sense to say there's only one God and he watches you or whatever on the walls of his victims, unless it's trying to be like he's trying to throw you off. But I just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you guys think? Apolline. Cherie, it's me, Apolline. The woman getting into the cab is a regular and a suspect, though you haven't seen her for a while. She always makes you feel uncomfortable. She claims to be... Cherie, I'm thirsty. A vampire. Excellent! No, hey, and following. Hey, thanks for following, man. And we got a little thing in the tip jar. Oh, it bounced right out. That's funny. Yeah, thanks for following. So she claims to be a vampire. Should I make her voice weird? I don't have too many high-pitched ones. I can just go with the same high-pitched one I used earlier. Try that. I kind of like the, at least the suspects to have voice effects, maybe, if I can. My vote is still on the schizophrenic Jesus girl. Oh, yeah, I'm with you right there. Definitely on her. Alright, vampire lady. Where to?
So thirsty. I have no idea what's going on tonight. Ooh, I'm absolutely parched.
Yeah, especially since Harvey said the killer was short. Yeah, I could see that because he seemed like a short girl. I guess I don't know how tall Jonas was, but I bet he wasn't that short. Because Harvey said that, what, like 4 or 5 feet tall? It was like short. I mean, I guess it's shorter, but...
And I'm sick of going to Belvedere again and again. What a bore. Of course, I love the place. The decor reminds me of the old plantation, but it's become so routine. And when a routine sets in, you're a goner.
You give her a quick look.
Oh, Cherie, not literally. Don't look at me that way. The thing is, I'm looking for something fresh, full of life. With a good, strong heart, nice and strong.
Of course, their metric, that would be really tall. Well, he said feet in the text. He said the word feet. I don't think he was using metric when he was talking.
A little gay guy who works in advertising, a vegan addicted to MDMA.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Ann. Just missed the joke there. Sorry.
Do you know where I can find one?
A chill runs down your spine. What if you couldn't find the right kind of bar? Think about places. Refuse to help. Let's think about places. The only thing you can think of is Carter, a nightclub in St. Owen you've known about for years. Maybe not what she's looking for, but definitely a young crowd and lots of atmosphere. Let's mention Carter. I know a place just north of Paris called Carter.
Just north of Paris? I don't mind the suburbs. Why not? It might be interesting. I never go to that part of town, ever. Not my usual stomping grounds. My kinfolk in the area are extremely aggressive. But why not? Carter it is.
You start the cab. The scenery starts to unfold. The passenger seems to have lost interest in you. It's the second or third time you picked her up. She's told you her life story every time. Could she really be a vampire? You'd rather not ask. You hear a slight cough.
How long have we known each other now?
A few months, I guess.
I take more cabs in the summer, that's for sure. I have to stay more on my toes.
A knowing wink.
I used to have a driver.
Suddenly her head seems to be elsewhere. What happened to him? She smiles.
Something awful. Retirement.
A burst of laughter. There's a particular quality to her voice, as if someone else in the car were laughing alongside her.
Anyhow, I can't afford a driver anymore. Human life is so pricey these days, Sherry. Back when my mother was a slave, she was worth nothing, or near about so. Today, everyone is worth something. We're all equal.
She waves a hand before her face, then utters something in icy tones.
Manti.
A few moments go by. The passenger watches you in silence, then diverts her gaze, as if you were an animal.
Does it bother you, having me as a passenger?
No, why do you ask?
Because of who I am.
Who are you? She smiles.
You know very well who I am, Sherry.
She waves a hand.
I won't bother you with that anymore. You already refused my offer twice. I won't insist. It takes more courage than you think.
A faraway look comes over her.
Though nowadays, people's lives are far too comfortable to make any radical changes. The imagination of a Parisian begins and ends with starting over in the country, among the wildlife and the livestock.
There is a hint of sadness in her voice.
What a pity. We could have such a good time together, Sherry.
There's no more talk until you pull up to Carter. You can immediately tell your passenger is disappointed. She hands you the fare and heaves a sigh.
A provincial club, just outside of Paris. If only I had known.
She waves a hand, as if to silence you.
But it's not your fault, Sherry. I know you try your best. Such is the way of the world.
She sighs.
A world that's changing all too quickly. We'll soon be old hat, left on the sidelines.
She shrugs with a glance of her polished nails, gives you a smile, then pays for the ride.
But I won't let it get me down. Wish them luck.
With a wink, she walks over to the nondescript club. It looks pretty seedy. Shady characters are loitering in the parking lot. Your customer's unusual appearance gets a laugh from some of the youths. She doesn't let it deter her, though. She steps resolutely through the door of the Carter. Made a little money. Oh yeah, we're way out here. Never been out this far. Okay, we're kind of running out of time in the night. Oh no, I didn't mean to click that. No. Okay, let's panic click this guy. I don't like it when, like, it makes me use the same button to confirm an action as it does to drag the map around. I will say that's one thing about this game I think that they could improve. It's like, let me, like, right click and drag the map maybe, and then left click to confirm where I want to go. Because I feel like I've misclicked a few times. I guess that's why I say that. Alright, let's check this guy out. I don't think I've ever given this guy a ride. Looks like he's a DJ of some sort. The door opens and your passenger collapses into the back seat. His eyes are hidden behind a pair of large, dark glasses. His clothes reek of sweat and booze. A clubber. He mumbles his destination and you start driving. A few words are exchanged. The weather, taxes, traffic. Then you can tell it's coming, the inevitable conversation about the killer. Some bits of information, rumors, things overheard. You make a mental note of what you've heard. Who knows, it might come in handy. Your mind wanders, your eyes vaguely scan the store windows. The sodium light coming from the street lamp seems like it's dripping into your brain. You're falling asleep. You need a bit of music to keep you awake. Ask your passenger, turn music on. I'm just gonna turn the music on. He seems like he might like the music. You turn the radio on, pressing the dial and to find a station you like. 80s rock ballad, too soft. Behind you, your passenger is snoring. Barely, but you can hear him. Atonal classical music. Sounds like the orchestra is badly tuned. Ray, not tonight. A female poet being interviewed about her latest book. You recognize the imitable voice of one of your passengers. An ad interrupts the torrent of words and you change the station. Classical music again. The flute grates on your ears. Electronic music. You like the rhythm but just aren't in the mood. Stop. You lift your hand from the dial. The music plays on. Not bad. Turn it up so I can hear better. I didn't want to wake you, I'll say. His voice sounds like it's coming from a deep cavern. I wasn't sleeping, just sobering up. He leans forward. Not bad at all. You hear the touch of an accent. Probably an American, but someone who lived most of his life in France. Leave it on until they say the musician's name. The music continues. There's something turning in the background. A persistent melody that gets higher and higher. Your client mumbles. I bet. The song is coming to an end, and the announcer, in a piercing, foghorn voice, throws out the name of a DJ you've never heard of. DJ Blunt. I knew it. He famous? Yeah, quite, actually. I taught that dude everything he knows. Everything. In '94, at the party at the Rex Club, there was this kid who started buying me rounds. He waves his hand around. A kid, no older than 17. Thought he was hitting on me. He chuckles. He would have been disappointed. He shakes his head. Nah, he wanted me to teach him how to spin. I told him no, but you can watch. And that's exactly what he did every week until he moved to Osiris. He sold X to pay his way in. He briefly snickers. And now he's on the radio. Silence fills the cab. Weighted silence. You can tell your passenger's mind is spinning. You know what he did this summer? He was the opener for the soccer championship at Stade de France. It was huge. Wonder what people'd think if they knew he was selling drugs at 17. He lowers his voice a bit. If they only knew. Your passenger clams up. Watch him keep an eye on the road. I'll keep an eye on the road, seems safer. You notice a woman crossing the street at the crosswalk. She speeds up as she walks by two men talking loudly. We ran into each other in Libza 4 or 5 years ago. You almost jump at the sound of his voice. I was spinning in this little club. Yeah, really little, but it was something. He totally ignored me, of course. Even with those dark glasses, you can see how angry he is. Hey, what's up, Lemur? How you doing, man? How you doing? DJ motherfucking cunt. He suddenly starts waving his arms around. He rummages through his pockets as he says, your radio. Can I take a flash drive? You glance at your radio. You don't really know what he's talking about. No, only CDs. I'm gonna say I don't know. No worries. He lays his phone in the space between the two front seats. Listen to this. It's what I played tonight. It's mine. He sets his phone to play. But, you know, people were barely dancing. A drum machine playing a hard-edged beat in the background. They were talking, taking each other's picture. 4 notes starts to dance in the cab. They barely touch, never kiss anymore. A perfect dance beat becomes progressively audible. All that. A purely electronic crescendo plays. It's over. There's a break in the music. Synthesized strings calm the song down without slowing it down. At least, the song is getting intense again, explodes as your passenger drifts off. I got people dancing. The song keeps going for another minute, then stops. Your passenger doesn't budge. You drive to the rhythm of his snoring. The sound fills the cab. Ideas are bouncing through your head, like they do every time you find yourself alone. This guy in the back seat is too old to be young. You look at your own hands. They look like they're suddenly aging in a time lapse. You close your eyes a second. Only a second. When you open them, you've reached your destination and have pulled over to the sidewalk. You tap your passenger's knee and he wakes with a start. Shit, yeah? We're here, sir. Ah, yes, great. He rummages through his pockets and hands you a few rumpled bills for fare. Thanks. I hope you liked it. Silence. The music, I mean, my music. The song I played you. I should have been in the spotlight, you see? 15 minutes of fame. Just a minute of... He stifles a burp. You hear him mumble as he leaves the Those whiskey and oranginas really screw with my system. You see him stagger towards the building. He takes him several tries to get the door open. He finally disappears inside. You heave a long sigh. Okay, come on. That was kind of a weird one. Oh man, he really took me out here in the suburbs, didn't he? Okay, so we don't have any... We could try to get TV guy. I don't even know if I have enough gas for that. Should probably just go get some gas. Yeah, let's get some gas. I think I can get a newspaper and probably read with any time I have left after that, because I didn't read my newspaper yesterday. Oh well. I think we've got a lot of evidence, so I'm actually kind of excited to see what we got. Maybe none of it was that great, but we'll find out. You pull over and stop at a gas station. Not a soul in sight. The fluorescent lights irritate your eyes, and the smell of pee is wafting up from the space between pumps. It's self-service here. You pay directly at the pump. The mini-mart over there, they must sell newspapers. The person behind the counter must see and hear things. Might be worth asking a couple questions. You get out of your taxi and are struck by the familiar feeling that you are the last person on Earth. Pump, pump, pump it up. $80, so that's pretty expensive. Want your next car to be a hybrid? Yeah, that would be a really good choice. If I didn't go electric, I would have went hybrid. Hybrids are just really nice for the people who have to commute, you know what I mean? It's like the one thing with my electric car that kind of sucks sometimes is that I can't go like as far as I want, you know what I mean? But it is nice not having to pay for as much fuel, or not having to pay for any fuel, really, in my case. You walk into the mini-marts. The guy behind the counter looks like all the other guys behind counters you've come across in your lifetime. Can I help you? Okay, about that, I don't need any of these. I don't know why they even have these, these little scratchers. Talk to the clerk. You examine the newspaper and magazine covers. The serial killer is on the front page of all of them. It's crazy, isn't it? Or it's crazy, isn't it? You think they'd have caught him by now. The clerk smiles. You recognize the twinkle in his eye. This guy has something to tell you. Okay, so you gave me some evidence that I can't see yet. The guy behind the counter barely looks at you as you leave. Leave the gas station. Get in your taxi and drive away. Did you need to get a special charging parking space? No, I did not. The company I work for has 3 charge stations that it's like right next to my apartment anyways, so I mean it came with like a cable if I had a house and I could plug it in myself if I wanted to, but these ones are like the super fast chargers and everything, and so yeah, I can just park over there and charge it up. Takes about, I don't know if I'm completely empty or like as close to empty as I've ever come. I think it's taken it at most like 6 hours, I think, to charge all the way on one of those. But yeah, it's pretty sweet. I really like it. And like to charge up all the way, it's like $5 tops, like for a full tank, pretty much. Usually I only charge like $2-3 because I don't let it get that low. All right, looks like we have a little bit of time. Let's go ahead and read the newspaper with that time. You pull a newspaper out of your glove compartment and start leafing through it. Eventually, something grabs your eye. You glance at the critique of the great Alicia Cleff's latest collection of poetry. The critic seems convinced, but is curious to know what might have inspired her to write this masterpiece. Turn the page and stop. You've read about a third of the newspaper. Keep reading. Stop reading and go back to a few pages. You thought you saw something. It's a short article mentioning the strike led by a handful of employees of Confiseries du Marias, a luxury candy brand. The employees demand better wages. The owners, the Groupe Diamant, are threatening to relocate their factories abroad. You only have 1/3 of the paper to read. As soon as you get to the page, you stop. Your instinct tells you to look at it. According to this very angry article, Jules Lima, the Angel of Death's second victim, was an eco-terrorist, fighting at all costs to prevent people from eating meat and using their cars. You smile as you finish the text. Even though the term eco-terrorist is a bit extreme, it could explain a few things. You shut the paper. It'll end up in the trash tonight. If you remember, it's there. Otherwise, it'll spend the rest of its days in your glove compartment. It's gotta call it a night there. Yeah, not bad at all, right? Yeah, totally worth it, especially for me since I like 99% of my driving is not very far. The only place I'd like to go is to go see family, because my family lives pretty far away from me, so it would be really nice to have a hybrid just for that. Oh man, look at all that money go down. I need to get some more money. But yeah, like in order to go see my mom, I have to drive down to my brother's house, and then usually I'll like get a ride with him to go to my mom's. Because I can get to my brother's house and back, but my mom is just like way too far outside that range. Yeah, and every other way, it's an amazing car and I love it. Take a few minutes to update your board with new clues. Steps in the hallway. They stop in front of your door, then move away. You crack your knuckles and get to work. Okay, so none of the clues were clues that I needed to examine. Yeah, Gilda talks to Jesus. That should be our #1 clue. Open door to the killer. Strict religious family. Message on crime scene. He watches you. Lust. Fish equal original symbol for Christianity. Fish symbol in Gilda's church. Message to crime scene 1. Yeah, I guess I should try to match those up. Victim 2 receive death threats. He watches you. Anything else new? Jonas is a dangerous man. Killer is short. Oh, so Jonas is also short? Okay, I guess I just didn't assume he would be a short guy. Jonas equals leader of the dark web group. Okay. Someone's hero, loved by everyone. Jonas is testing a theory. Moon flesh cult, basically hippies. Victim 3, part of the moon flesh cult. I think the word flesh makes it automatically seem kind of like weird culty, but now knowing that they're hippies that are probably just into, you know, like banging and stuff, I guess maybe that's where the flesh comes from. Free love and all that. Okay, so mostly we got stuff on Gilda because she is cuckoo. Set designer for the opera, was hospitalized after her mother's death. Difficult relationship with her dad, also working at the opera. A Catholic and a member of the Korean community in Paris. Interesting. Yeah, I think Harvey is just can't get a fair shake, man. Getting put on fucking victim boards and stuff, or suspect boards. Alright, I'm gonna call the stream here. I don't think there's an actual save. I think it just saves once we get here. So this is where we're gonna start next week. So get excited for that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight. I really enjoyed this game. Let me see here. Oh, come on, one sec. Oh yeah, you're very welcome. Yeah, thanks for coming to hang out. Here, let me pop over here. Yeah, I really like this game so far. I really hope you guys like it as well. Yes, this game is fun. Nice. There you go. Great stream. Hell yeah. I had a lot of good. I had a good time. A lot of fun. So let's see. So the rest of the week, what we got tomorrow, Wednesday, will be Pokemon Snap. I have planned for that. And then Thursday, we're going to be doing more Red Dead. Still going through with that. And Friday will be some more Nier Replicant. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I love all the games that we're playing right now. They're so great. So hopefully you guys will come hang out and see what happens in those games as well. Red Dead's another like good story one for anybody who likes the story stuff. It's definitely got a lot of small stories that we get to learn, and it's all cowboy themed, so that's pretty cool. And Nier's just got this big, very strange story. So if you're into that sort of thing, come hang out for some Nier Replicant on Friday. So, but yeah, thanks again, everybody, for hanging out. If anybody's out there who's watching who hasn't followed yet, definitely give the stream a follow so you can get some notifications and come back and hang out. But yeah, other than that, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.